Welcome you into Friday Night Baseball here on the KSAM Sports Network, presented by Wiesner of Huntsville. Tonight's matchup features your new Waverly Bulldogs taking on the Central Heights Blue Devils here in this 3A area round matchup here. Welcome into the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel. My name is Houston Hardcastle. Alongside me, Justin Hardcastle, calling this beautiful game here today as New Waverly down 1-0 currently in the series, looking to come out of here with a big time win, keep their postseason dreams alive. So you hear the music starting to be played in through the PA announcer, and teams warming up on the field. We'll go ahead and go over kind of some things to look out for here in this matchup. Again, New Waverly down 1-0 in the series, lost 4-3 last time out yesterday. It was a close-fought match. We'll go ahead and get into head coach Aaron Compton's thoughts here in just a second, but it was obviously a tough loss for the Bulldogs as they once again fall 4-3 in the first game. But a clean slate here today, here on this beautiful Friday evening for New Waverly to tie up the series at 1 apiece. But head coach Aaron Compton did have some keys to the game, so we'll go ahead and get into that convo right here on the KSAM Sports Network. Welcome into the Bill Fick Ford Countdown to First Pitch here on the KSAM Sports Network here with New Waverly head coach Aaron Compton. Coach, obviously, first question before we get kind of into the nitty-gritty of the matchup today is just kind of give the listeners your final thoughts on that matchup y'all had.
Yesterday's game I thought went really well. It's tough to lose. The first game is always important in the series, but I was really proud of our kids and how they fought back. How they played. I think they're in a good headspace, and I'm really excited to see them come out and just get after it today.
Obviously, travel kind of a big factor in these games. You had to bustle in and bustle out, and then bustle back out, and then bustle back in. So how are you just, kind of keeping the kids, kind of excited despite all the travel and making sure they're sharp and ready to go?
Yeah, I didn't have to do much. They're pretty excited. That's a great group of kids. We've got a lot of good leaders. They kind of took charge of that. They were pretty hungry after last night. I felt like they were in a pretty good headspace all day. So I really haven't done much. Kind of step back and keep it light and loose, and we'll just go play baseball today.
Obviously, Coach, you talked a little bit about it in the postgame last night, but, those innings where you give up 3+ runs, it's just not a recipe for winning baseball. So just how are you looking to limit those big innings here tonight and come out of here with a big win, keep your season alive?
I don't think it was anything particularly that we did wrong in that inning. They did a phenomenal job of 2-strike, 2-out hitting, so all the credit to them. But we've got to match that. So I think maybe we got into too many 3-ball counts, so that probably didn't help. So that's kind of one of the messages to the pitcher that's going tonight. Charlie Goodwin is get ahead early, throw strikes, trust your defense, and just like you said, we're going to try to limit those, and not only limit those, but respond with those with our own 3-run innings.
Obviously, Coach, like you said, Goodwin on the mound tonight. Just what are you looking for out of him in terms of what you're going to see from him in the mound, the pitches he's going to throw towards this team? Again, Central Heights team that can swing the bat very well. Yeah,
we just want him to throw strikes, to get ahead early, not getting into 3-ball counts, try to pitch the entire game. He's very good at responding in these moments. He's been in some tough moments this year. Seems like nothing phases him. He kind of gets up on the mound, and that's his domain. And trusting his defense. You can't strike out this team. They're too good. So we're going to try to keep them a little bit off balance, hope we get some weak contact, and just rely on our defense to make plays.
All right, last question here for you, Coach, before I let you go. What are your final keys tonight? Again, come out of here with a big-time win in Athens, Texas, and keep your season alive so you can keep postseason baseball alive.
Our message today was find a way on offense. We only got 2 hits last night, and we're just better than that offensively. The guy on the mound was obviously very, very good, so he had a lot to do with that. And the kid that they're throwing tonight is also very good. But I think we need to limit our strikeouts, which we've done all year. We haven't struck out a lot, but we struck out 11 times last night. So we're going to try to find a way to put the ball in play. If you can put the ball in play and throw strikes on the mound, good things are going to happen.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back into the Bill Fick Ford countdown to first pitch. Going into the starting lineups now here for both teams. First up for Central Heights, the lineup is as follows. Batting first, it's going to be number 3, Owen Brady, doing catching duties today for the Blue Devils. Batting second, it's going to be number 6, Logan Baker, playing out in left today for Central Heights. Batting third, number 12, Garner Rodriguez, doing third base duties today for the Blue Devils. Batting fourth is number 18, Luke Williamson, DHing in for Brandon Davis, who's playing at second. Batting fifth is number 17, Bo Bryant, doing shortstop duties today for the Blue Devils. Batting sixth and on the mound is number 2, Trapper Murdoch. Batting seventh is number 8, Damien Ramirez, Damien Ramirez playing at first today. Batting eighth is going to be Dane Sunderland, playing out in right today, and batting ninth in the cleanup spot is going to be number 15, Cade Misora, doing center fielding duties for the Blue Devils. Now into the starting lineup for your new Waverly Bulldogs. It's going to be batting first. It's going to be number 15, Colin Conover. Batting second is going to be number 3, Cade Garrett, playing at short today. Batting third and on the mound tonight for the Bulldogs is going to be number 19, Charlie Goodwin. Batting fourth is number 16, Hunter Henry, the lone offensive threat for the Bulldogs. Got that home run early in the game. He is playing out in center, his usual spot today. Batting fifth, number 17, Jackson Hathorn, playing over at first today. Batting sixth, number 12, Jace Card, out in left. Batting seventh, number 9, Crawford Reisner, playing out in right today. Batting eighth is going to be number 10, William Colley, playing at the DH position today, so not in the defensive alignment for the Bulldogs. And batting in the final 9 spot, number 18, Max Tomzak, doing catching duties today for the New Waverly Bulldogs. Coaches are meeting at home plate, so we're about 8 or so minutes away from the start of this one. We'll be right back after this on the Bill Fick Ford countdown to first pitch, brought to you by KSAM Sports Network.
Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here. And summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $34,580 after rebates. Or a 25 Buick Envision starting at only $34,950 after rebates. Or a 2025 Buick Encore GX starting at only $22,980. We also have a great selection of EVs to choose from. So hurry down to Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville and see these great vehicles and smoking deals. Or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Welcome back into the Bill Fick Ford countdown to first pitch pre-game show. Umpires are now over the home plate. Lineup cards have been given out to both coaches as we get set to get ready for this one. So you hear the PA announcer. Went over the starting lineups. We'll go ahead and get into the weather report here from Athens, Texas. It's a pretty cool day. Had a little bit of rain coming into the stadium. It is currently 72 degrees, high of 77, low of 62 here in Athens. 0.5 inches of precipitation expected. Sunset will be at 8:10 p.m. 66% humidity, dew point at 60 degrees right now. The moon will be in a waxing gibbous tonight with a 94% illumination. The next full moon is in 3 days, so keep an eye on that moon if you've got any werewolf in your blood. Starting lineups coming out to the home plate here today, so we'll go ahead and turn up the crowd mic. Here are the sounds of the PA announcer here from Athens, Texans. We'll be back for first pitch here on the KSAM Sports Network.
And now introducing the starting lineup For the new Waverly Bulldogs, leading off the second baseman, number 5, Colin Conover. At shortstop, number 3, Cade Garrett. The pitcher, number 19, Charlie Goodwin. In center field, number 16, Hunter Henry. At first base, number 7, Jackson Hawthorne. In left field, number 12, Jace Card. In right field, number 9, Crawford Washner. The designated hitter, number 10, Will Colley. The catcher, number 18, Mac Tomzak. Playing third base, number 2, Lane Fortune. The Bulldogs are coached by Aaron Compton, assisted by Eason Drawdy, Harrison Sorensen, and Jackson Howell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you please rise and kindly remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Find us on social media on both Facebook and X at KSAM-1017. Also be sure to subscribe to the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything going on with your hometown radio station.
This broadcast has been copyrighted by KSAM Sports for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any other retransmission or accounts of the game without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and New Waverly High School Athletics is strictly prohibited.
The following is a presentation of KSAM Sports.
Welcome you back into Friday Night Baseball here on the KSAM Sports Network, presented by Wiesner of Huntsville. Tonight's matchup features Waverly Bulldogs taking on the Central Heights Blue Devils in what should be an exciting matchup here today from Athens, Texas. My name is Houston Hardcastle. Alongside me, Justin Hardcastle, my producer, filling in, doing some color commentary for us tonight here on the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel. Justin, should be an exciting matchup here today.
Happy to be here, Houston. It seems my microphone is having some trouble. Give me just 1 second. All right, there we go. I'm here with you now.
All right. So it should be an exciting matchup here tonight. Again, Goodwin on the mound, pitched very well for the Bulldogs in the first round matchup. In that game that I was able to commentate over, kid came in and pitched a really good game, but he did come in relief for Levi Brett, so haven't gotten to see him on the starting mound for the Bulldogs, but he's a very good and experienced pitcher for head coach Aaron Compton, only a junior, so they're going to get this guy back for one more year, but they're looking to keep their postseason hopes alive. Again, down 1-0 right now in the series.
Absolutely, Houston. It's a fantastic night for baseball tonight. The weather is absolutely beautiful. You couldn't ask for anything better than this. Tell me, what stands out in your mind about what stood out in your mind about his pitching performance last time when you were able to comment on it? Commentate, sorry.
No worries. He's strong in control, and he's got good velocity and speed on his pitches. So like head coach Aaron Compton said in the pregame show, he's got to get ahead in the count, but a bad start there on a slider outside. 1-0 to the first batter for the Blue Devils, Owen.
Yeah, not exactly how he was looking to start that at bat, maybe. Looking to see a little more command of the strike zone.
So 1-0 here to the catcher, Brady Owen, and that one high for ball 2.
Yeah, you see him just moving it in a little bit, seeing if he can get the batter to bite. Just not quite working out in his favor yet.
2-0 pitch. That one in there for a strike. Late call from the umpire. Looked like it was down the middle. 2-1 for Goodwin.
And as you can see, he's just slowly working that ball closer and closer into the strike zone.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one high for ball 3. I want to remind everyone listening that tonight's video broadcast is being presented in 2K Quad HD with a 4K Ultra HD enhanced presentation. Closed captioning is also available for the hearing impaired. As the 3-1 swing and a miss on Owen. Good pitch there by Goodwin to get him to chase on that one. And now it's got full count here to the catcher, Owen.
That is just about the perfect pitch to throw when you're down in a 3-1 count like that. Just getting him to swing, miss like that, throw him off his rhythm a little bit. That's what he's probably going to try to look to do here again.
So here's the payoff pitch from Goodwin, and that one is swung on foul over into the Central Heights dugout on the light pole. That ball.
That one may have sailed over to Huntsville.
Yeah, way and gone. So if you're Goodwin here, you got to be careful. Owen's showing some power on that pitch. Don't want to put that one in play. The full count pitch. That one is chopped up, heading over towards Hathorn, and he makes the catch over at first base for the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
Pretty good pitching sequence there. Just able to, keep him off rhythm with his swing, able to get him to pop out. That's exactly what you want when you're down 3-1 in the count.
So now into the batter's box will step Logan Baker. Again, playing out in left today for the Blue Devils. With one out here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch by Goodwin. Slider in there for a strike. How about that movement on that pitch by the junior? Oh, 1 to Baker. Inside. Oh, they're going to call that a strike. Just caught the corner of that strike zone inside. So now Goodwin finds himself up in the count 0-2 early. Give him some confidence on the mound. 0-2, that one is swung on, hit out toward left. Card is tracking, and it's actually going to go over to center to Hunter Henry, who snags it for the second out of the inning for the New Waverly Bulldogs.
How about that? Reminds you about what Coach was talking about in pregame, about getting the pitcher to just keep throwing the strikes and trusting the defense.
Defense helping out their pitcher so far. 2 flyouts for Goodwin, 1 to first and 1 to center. As into the batter's box will step Garner Rodriguez, the third baseman for the Blue Devils. With 2 outs here in the top of the first, here's the pitch. Well inside for ball 1. Nearly got the elbow of the third baseman there.
Looked like it did from this angle.
It was very close, so if you're Goodwin, got to be a little bit more careful on your pitches. But again, defense has helped you out so far. Just get out of this inning unscathed. 1-0. That one is chopped foul over towards the netting, and some Central Heights fans who were thankfully protected by that said netting.
Definitely made sure they were paying attention.
Yeah, give them a little jolt of energy here. As a 1-1 here to the third baseman, Rodriguez. That one, a lot of movement on that pitch, but outside and low for ball 2.
Yeah, definitely probably trying to get the batter to bite at that one. Swing at a pitch that he shouldn't swing at, and he just wasn't quite able to do it.
The 2-1 from Goodwin. That one is chopped foul once again, so now the count is knotted up at 2 apiece for the junior pitcher, Charlie Goodwin. Still 2 outs here in the top of the first. No runners on for the Blue Devils. Goodwin looking to get the third and final out of this first inning. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 3.
Yeah, Definitely trying to get him to swing and miss at those. Just batter's just not seeing it right now.
So now it'll be a loaded count for the third baseman, Rodriguez. With 2 outs in the top of the first, time is called. The payoff pitch. That one is chopped over to first in the gap, and that one is going to be a single for the third baseman, Rodriguez. Hathorn unable to make a play on that one, so it will be the first hit of the day for the Blue Devils.
Not ideal, not what you want. You know, 2 outs, 1 strike away, looking to get out of this inning clean. Now Goodwin's just going to have to start over, erase it from his memory, and try to get this last out of the inning.
So a runner in Rodriguez at first, as Williamson, the DH, will come up to bat.
You were saying before the game, this is their pitcher, right? DHing for their second baseman, I believe? Or is that for New Waverly?
That's for Central Heights as he swings at that one. I'm going to have to double check myself. He's actually DHing for Brandon Davis playing at second.
Right, yeah.
So he is DHing, but for second base.
Fascinating. That was not something we've ever seen before.
Don't see that very often. Take a second baseman out of the batting rotation, but, you know,
Just focus on that defense.
Central Heights team that bats the ball very, very well. It's the 0-1, well outside. Good cover by Tomzak to keep that one under control. 1 apiece here in the count.
That one was well outside. It's probably not the exact location of where he was trying to throw that one.
Count tied at 1. Here's the pitch. That one is hot-shotted down the first base line. That ball is fair. Rodriguez is healing for third as Reisner is able to throw it in and keep the runner at third, but it's going to be a stand-up double for the DH Williamson.
Goodness, I didn't even realize that was a double. I thought he was going to stop at first.
So some heads-up base running there by Rodriguez as he healed for third as soon as Williamson made contact. And now for Goodwin, you've still got 2 outs, but now runners in scoring position as into the batter's box will come Bo Bryant, the shortstop for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, definitely not ideal for Goodwin, looking to get out of this inning clean. You gotta limit those 2-out hits because those can be very dangerous for a starting pitcher.
So the second hit of the day for Central Heights is here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Again, a lot of movement, but just can't find the zone. 1-0. The 1-0. In there for a strike. How about that pitch and frame by Tomzak? As he did a good job framing that one again. Goodwin with some
Fantastic with the framing.
some good velocity and movement on these pitches as he gets that one in there for the strike. 1-1. Swing and a miss. And it looks like he got a little bit of a piece of that, but it will bring the count up to 1-2 regardless. So if you're Goodwin, a Mirsky's Cafe strikeout would be paramount here.
Yeah, you want to keep this game right where it's at, get this last out, and get out of this inning clean.
And that one is going to be hit the batter, and so now it's bases loaded with 2 outs. And into the batter's box will step the pitcher, Trapper Murdoch.
This is the second time this inning Goodwin's been down to the last strike and just hasn't been able to put it away yet. Now the bases are loaded.
So bases loaded, you've got plays at home, you've got plays all over the field. So if you're the infield, you've got to be aware of that. Make the play that's easiest for you.
Lots of opportunities for outs, what we call a target-rich environment.
Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. That one is hit over towards Goodwin. Conover scoops it up and makes the play. How about Colin Conover putting his body on the line for that one for the third and final out of the inning for the Bulldogs. So no runs allowed by the pitcher, Charlie Goodwin. His defense comes up in a huge spot. This one is still all knotted up at 0 apiece. Central Heights is going to leave 3 runners on base. How about that? As we head to the bottom of the first with New Waverly up to bat for the first time in this one from Athens, Texas. We'll be right back after this on the KSAM Sports Network.
Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Cadillac in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here, and summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a new Cadillac Sport Platinum Escalade that you can take up to $10,000 off the factory MSRP after rebates, or a 2024 Cadillac XT6 starting at only $42,980 after rebates. We also have a great selection of EV vehicles to choose from, so hurry down to Wiesner Cadillac in Huntsville to see these great vehicles at smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerCadillac.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Donuts still on the scoreboard here as we head to the bottom of the first. New Waverly up to bat for the first time in this one. As again, you are watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. My name is Houston Hardcastle alongside Justin Hardcastle. Again, 1, 2, and 3 up for New Waverly as we head to the bottom of the first. On the mound today for the Central Heights Blue Devils, Trapper Murdoch. Very baseball-sounding name there as he, again, not DH'd in the lineup, actually, as he was the third and final out of that first inning. But head coach Aaron Compton, we were talking a little bit before the game, this is a very, very good pitcher. So if you're the New Waverly offense, you've got to get out and jump on him early.
Definitely no way to send a better message than getting out of that inning clean and then coming at the bottom of the inning and putting some runs on the board, showing the Blue Devils that you mean business and that you are not going to go out without fighting.
So Colin Conover, the phenomenal play to end the inning, the second baseman helping out his pitcher.
What a play that was.
As he comes into the batter's box, checks his swing, but it doesn't matter. It's in the strike zone, strike one of the at-bats.
Now, the camera didn't quite do that play justice. The way he was able to stumbled a little, fumbled, looked like it was going to be bad, but he was still able to come away with the out.
Conover puts that one in play. No play over there at first for Ramirez, and Colin Conover is going to put a runner on the base path for the Bulldogs. Still no outs here in the bottom of the first. Kid's doing it all today.
A heck of a defensive play to end the inning, and now he's gone out and got himself a hit.
So New Waverly only had 2 hits in their last matchup against Central Heights. Already won here in the bottom of the first.
Already halfway there.
Cade Garrett, the Bulldogs shortstop, will now step into the box with a runner on first in Conover. Still no outs here in the bottom of the first. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Well outside, ball 1. The 1-0 to Garrett. That one is popped up over to Rice. Sunderland is going to get under that one, and Conover is going to be held up at first. That's going to be the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
The pitcher, number 19, Charlie Goodwin.
So here comes Charlie Goodwin on the mound today for the Bulldogs. Has a lot of power in the batter's box. And that game 2 against Brazos had some big at-bats as well. Had a little blooper to kind of keep the Bulldogs alive in that game 2 against the Cougars.
Right, yeah.
So
pitcher
he's
hitting this high in the lineup, you know he means business.
Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. That one in there for a strike. Painted the bottom part of the strike zone.
Must have been right at the knees. That one looked a little low from here.
So 0-1 here to Goodwin. 1 out in the bottom of the first. Checks his swing, lays off that one, ball 1.
Good discipline here by Goodwin, not biting at that one. Looked to be in about the same spot as the last one.
Here's the 1-1. That one is swung on. That one is sailing over towards the dugout, and no play opportunity for the first baseman, Ramirez, as that one looked like there may have been initially a play opportunity, but that one just gets over the fence there in the foul territory. Runner on first in Conover. Goodwin faces a 1-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing, doesn't matter, strikes out. So Charlie Goodwin will strike out in that one. It's a Mirsky's Cafe strikeout for Trapper Murdoch for the second out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
Some of the new Waverly fans not liking that
The
one.
center fielder, number 16, Hunter Henry.
So now into the batter's box will step Hunter Henry again. Homered in the last game against the Blue Devils yesterday. So his bat is dangerous, and Murdoch's got to know that. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. A lot of good movement there on that one, but it's low for ball 1.
And you know, Henry would love to have a day like he did yesterday, knock one out of the park and put the Bulldogs ahead here in this one in the first inning.
1-0 here to Henry. Again, another pitch outside, 2-0. Good eye there by the Bulldogs center fielder to lay off that one from Murdoch. Both pitchers with a lot of movement on their pitches here today.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Both of these pitchers are just, it's crazy how talented high school pitching is these days.
Here's the 2-0. Outside, ball 3.
Henry showing discipline early in this at-bat. Getting himself a very favorable hitter's count.
As Jackson Hathorn warms up in the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-0 to Henry. That one in there for a strike. Just paints the lower half of the zone. So the pitcher Murdoch will not put him on the base path just yet. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Henry faces a 3-1. Outside, take your base, Hunter Henry.
The first baseman, number 7, Jackson.
The Bulldogs find themselves in the same position as the Blue Devils were in the top of the inning with 2 outs and runners on. We'll see if they can capitalize on it.
You've got good speed in Conover over at second, so a good placed hit out in the outfield by Hathorn could potentially scratch a run across the board for the Bulldogs. But with Baker, Masora, and Sunderland in the outfield, 3 very strong arms. It's gotta be a hit and run as he gets a sizable lead over at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on foul, 0-1. Here's the pitch. That one, another swing, but chopped into the turf here in Athens. So an 0-2 now here to the first baseman Hathorn with runners on first and second. The Bulldogs definitely don't want to leave runners on, especially against a team that can pitch like this. Might not get many of these opportunities.
And it's absolutely vital that the Bulldogs take advantage of these opportunities with runners in scoring position.
Good eye there by the first baseman Hathorn. The Blue Devil faithful not too happy about that one. Looked like it may have nicked just the corner of the strike zone there, but don't get paid the big bucks to make the calls these umps do.
Yeah, we've been hearing some chirping from both fan bases about some calls. Means the umpire's probably doing a pretty decent job.
So here's the 1-2. Peeks over at second, throws the pitch. That one, another foul. So Hathorn stays alive in the at-bat, showing a lot of power on these swings, just hasn't been able to put it in play. Again, with the speed of Conover at second.
That's the key for Hawthorne right now, is just to stay alive, work the count, see if you can make some magic happen.
The speed of Conover, a pretty well-placed ball out in the outfield, or even a hard grounder in between the gap could potentially score, as we see over at second. He's got a pretty sizable lead.
He's being stared down.
The 1-2, that one is chopped over to third. Third baseman is going to make the play over at first, and he's going to be out. Ooh, first base coach over for New Waverly. Not too happy about that one, but Jackson Hathorn will represent the third and final out of the inning, as a good throw by Rodriguez over to Ramirez will be the third and final out of the inning for the Blue Devils. We head to the top of the second, still zeros across the scoreboard for both teams, but still a lot of baseball left to be played here in Athens, Texas. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be back after this.
Hi, this is Devin Blakely with Community Service Credit Union. With our members constantly on the go, CSU is dedicated to making banking as safe and as easy as possible. Wherever life takes you, our nearest branch is right in your pocket with the CSU mobile app. You can check account balances, pay bills, and even make check deposits with the CSU mobile app. You can also monitor your credit score with CreditSense. CSU Mobile is available in the App Store and Google Play. Community Service Credit Union, member of NCUA.
Bottom of the lineup due up for the Bulldogs as we head to the top of the second here in Athens, Texas, home of the Athens Hornets. So we have us breaking the action here. We'll go ahead and thank some of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible.
New Waverly Bulldog Playoff Baseball is presented by Wiesner of Huntsville, home of the bottom line, and also brought to you in part by Frank's Taco Station in Riverside, Country Kitchen, tacos, and more.
Into the batter's box will step Damien Ramirez as he chops at that one. That one's going to be foul. So trying to put contact on that one was Ramirez, just unable to keep it fair. 0-1. Nothing in one here to Ramirez. Here's the pitch from Goodwin. In there for a strike as Ramirez just couldn't believe that one. Again, some really good movement here today by the junior pitcher.
Goodwin working himself into a favorable count here.
The 0-2, that one is hit over to Conover. He's going to scoop that one up and make the play over at first for the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
The defense over there from the second base so far.
So it's a 4-3 ground out for the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs, as into the batter's box will step Dane Sunderland. A lot of baseball-esque sounding names on this team. You've got Sunderland, you've got Murdoch, just some really baseball-ish names. So here's the 0-0, first pitch swinging. That one's hit over to Cade Garrett. He easily scoops that one and makes the play over at first. Good speed there by Sunderland, but an even better arm by Garrett.
Back to your statement earlier, what does make a baseball-sounding name, Houston? Is it anything objective, or? Did you hear me?
Two outs here in the top of the second. Is that one in there for a strike by Goodwin? The 0-1, that one is swung on over to Hathorn. Diving play over there on the first base line. Gets the third and final out of the inning. How about Jackson Hathorn showing off the glove there? Third and final out of the inning picked up for the New Waverly Bulldogs, as that is going to bring us to the bottom of the second inning, as 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Bulldogs, as we will be right back after this. You're listening to New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be right back after this.
This is Cicely again with Hartfield Florist. In business for over 50 years, at Hartfield's we strive to meet all your floral needs every day. From birthdays and anniversaries to weddings and other special occasions, we can bring your vision to life and customize your unique request. Give us a call at 295-5448 or visit us online at huntsvillehartfieldflorist.com. The Pierce family and everyone at Hartfield's wants to say thank you for allowing us to personalize your events just like we've been doing since 1957.
Welcome back into Athens, Texas, as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Still no runs on the board for the Blue Devils or the Bulldogs, but 6, 7, and 8 due up. And I do apologize, had some technical difficulties with my headset, wasn't able to hear the question of my broadcaster. To answer your question, a good baseball name is something, it just rolls off the tongue and you say, you know, That's a baseball name. If you ever seen the movie The Sandlot, Benny the Jet Rodriguez. I mean, that's just a baseball name.
And, you know, strangely, even though it's completely subjective, I know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes you do just hear a name. You say, you know, that's a baseball name.
That's a guy that could play baseball.
Great way to put it.
New Waverly's got some names like that. Crawford Reisner, very cool-sounding name. Max Tomzak.
We love it. We love it.
As into the batter's box will step Jace Card. Left field duties today for the Bulldogs. Swings and misses at that one, 0-1.
Card trying to be aggressive early in the count here. Just didn't quite work in his favor.
That one low for ball. Oh, he's actually going to call that one a strike. A late call from the umpire. So an 0-2 here to Jace Card.
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Here's a pitch from Murdoch. Well outside, ball one. As he swings at that one, hits it over to the shortstop, Bryan. He's going to make a tough play, and he's safe over at first. Bo Bryant can't make the throw over to Ramirez at first, and Jace Card's going to be safe, hugging first.
Absolutely fantastic effort by Carr there to hustle that out and able to take advantage of the slow infield defense and able to get himself on base with a hit.
So now for the Bulldogs, nobody out. Runner on first in Card, as into the batter's box will step Crawford Reisner. So here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Reisner. Well outside, ball one. Murdoch trying to get him chase low. Here's the 1-0. Good eye there by Reisner, 2-0. Still no outs here in the bottom of the second. It's 2-0. That one is swung on foul towards the Blue Devil dugout.
That one definitely frightened a fan or two.
Safety netting is there for a reason. Some real power being shown tonight in Athens, Texas. Is a 2-1 count. That one again swung on foul.
Yeah, showing the power, just not quite able to connect the right way.
So a knotted up 2-2 count here to Reisner. It's Murdoch. Peeks over at first. Delivers the pitch. That one is swung on over to Davis. He's going to make the play at short, and that is going to be a double play.
The designated hitter, number 10.
It's a 6-4-3 double play, or 4-6-3 double play, excuse me. So that'll be the first and second outs of the inning for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, not an ideal place to be hitting the ball when you got a runner on first. Just unfortunately, they were able to play good defense and connect that for a double play, and now you're facing 2 outs with no one on.
So now into the batter's box will step William Coley. Takes that one high for ball one, near his face. 2 outs here. That one in there for a strike, just nicked to the top corner of the zone.
Just ever so slightly. That was a beautiful painting of the corners there by Murdoch.
The 1-1 with 2 outs. That one is hit over towards us.
Frightened me.
You always forget the netting's there sometimes. Natural human instinct to jump. If you're just joining us, New Waverly had runners on first and second, but a 4-6-3 double play took them all off as he got a piece of that one. No, he didn't. They're going to say that he struck out swinging, so it's going to be a Mirsky's Cafe strikeout on William Coley for the third and final out of the inning for the Central Heights Blue Devils. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. We'll be right back after this as we head to the top of the third inning.
Folks, this is Frank Oliveris, Marine Corps veteran and owner of Frank's Tackle Station and Cafe, Riverside, Texas. Come on out to Frank's, where we welcome you like family and invite you to try some of our favorites, like the Frank's Bacon Cheeseburger, Brisket Kojo Taco, Chicken Fried Steak, Baked Potatoes, and more. At Frank's, there is something on the menu for the whole family. Frank's, the home of the loaded train, offers dine-in or carry-out. We are open Monday through Saturday, or call in your order at 936-594-8139. See you soon, and as always, we love you in Christ Jesus.
Third inning of action, getting ready to get underway here in Athens, Texas. As I want to remind everyone listening that tonight's broadcast of New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any other transmission or accounts of the game without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and New Waverly High School Athletics is strictly prohibited. While we have this pause in the action, go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible.
This broadcast of New Waverly Bulldog Baseball is brought to you in part by Community Service Credit Union, Bank Happy, Spend Smart, Live Well, member of NCUA, and Hartfield Florist, personalizing your event since 1957.
Do want to give a special shout out to all of our sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. Wouldn't be able to do it without y'all's support. Thank you for supporting the New Waverly Bulldogs as they look to stay alive here in the area round against Central Heights.
Got ourselves a bit of a pitcher's duel here in Athens. Both teams bending, not breaking, getting some runners on base, but not able to push them across. The pitching is able to hold its own so far here tonight.
So into the batter's box will step Brady Owen. Flew out to first in his first at-bat as he chops that one over to third. He's going to not be able to make the play, so unfortunately, Lane Fortune over there playing at third just kind of bobbled that one, and it's going to allow Owen to reach on an error.
The left fielder, number 6, Logan Baker.
Yeah, I'm going to call that one an error. Just not quite able to make the transition from glove to throwing arm, and allows a runner to get on base.
So Logan Baker, now 0 for 1 on the day, is the Blue Devil left fielder. Flew out to Henry in his first at-bat back in the first. He's looking for his first action on the base path tonight for Central Heights as a pickoff attempt by Goodwin.
Oh, goodness.
Hathorn.
Acrobatics there.
Taking the bull for a ride there over at first as he kind of got caught up with the runner in Owen.
Didn't think we'd see any gymnastics today.
As he's going to steal, and no pickoff attempt by Tomzak. A wild pitch by Goodwin. So Owen will reach second on a stolen base. First stolen base of the day for Central Heights. So now a runner in scoring position. Any well-placed ball in the outfield. Again, we've seen the speed of Owen. A well-placed ball could be the first run of the ball game for the Blue Devils, as that one is hit foul. So no bunt attempt there from the left fielder Baker. Just unable to keep that one in play, 1-1. The 1-1 from Goodwin, another bunt attempt as that one's going to be hit right over to Charlie. He's going to make the play. Oh.
A little bit of a miscommunication there in the infield.
It was, yeah.
Who was that?
Hathorn.
At first baseman, Hathorn stepped in front of the
Hathorn
base.
Picked off the attempt from Goodwin. Colin Conover came over from second to cover. Just wasn't sure if he was aware of that, as Aaron Compton is going to have a word with his junior pitcher here. Just a bit of a mound visit from the infield and head coach to talk to his pitcher. While we have this pause in the action, Justin, let's thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible.
This broadcast of New Waverly Bulldog Baseball is brought to you in part by Bill Fick Ford, no bull, just good deals, and by Mirsky's Cafe in New Waverly, home of the world-famous Hootie Burger, and proud supporter of the Bulldogs. So a little bit of infield confusion there leads to runners on the corners and no outs for the Blue Devils. What do you make of that, Houston?
Just
that sequence of events.
Just got to communicate there if you're New Waverly. Again, Owen already at second off a stolen base, and now Baker lays down a bunt, and, you know, Hathorn maybe just didn't understand that Conover was coming over to cover first and kind of played like a pickoff man over there.
Right, yeah.
But
And, you know, if you're the Bulldogs, you just got to have a short memory and just focus on getting some outs.
The third baseman, number 12, Garner.
This is a sport of short-term memory.
so now Rodriguez will step into the batter's box. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Got a single back in the first, reached all the way to third, but wasn't able to be driven home. It's Goodwin peeks over at first, delivers the pitch. That one in there for a strike to get ahead in the count. 0-1. As that one is hit over into center. Henry is tracking it, but Owen is going to tag up and run for home, and he is going to get in there safely. So it's going to be the first run of the day for the Blue Devils on a tag-up sacrifice hit by Rodriguez.
Designated hitter, number 18, Luke Williamson.
Was able to hit it deep enough in to be able to score on the sacrifice fly. Not ideal, you know, the infield error led to that runner being on third in the first place, so you just got to buckle down and prevent any more runs from scoring.
So now runner on first, 1 out here for the Bulldogs. As into the batter's box will step Luke Williamson, DHing today for the Blue Devils.
Obviously, if you're Goodwin, you'd love to maybe set up a double play here with the runner on first.
He smacked a double back in the first with some heads-up base running, so he's 1 for 1 on the day, batting 1,000 right now as he skies that one out into right, but Reisner is going to be right there for the second out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
The shortstop, number 17.
And apologies for the delayed graphics. There are 2 outs in the inning now. I just forgot to push the button the first time.
Batting 5th, up comes Bo Bryant, the Blue Devil shortstop. Got hit by the pitch earlier in the first, so no official hits on the day. As he swings and misses at that one, Tomczak's going to get the attempt at second, but he's going to be safe, is the runner in Baker.
It almost looks like that throw was very well placed. He sort of just hesitated a bit with the tag, if you saw that, and just ended up costing him.
Good cover over there at short by Cade Garrett. But again, Tomczak put it on a frozen rope, just a little bit of a delay there on the tag as he's just kind of able to slide under it. So still 0-1 here as that one is chopped. It is going to stay fair. Goodwin is going to just kind of watch that one, and you're going to have another runner safe thanks to an infield error.
Yeah, more miscommunication here in the infield by the Bulldogs at the worst possible time. You got 2 outs, looking to get out of this inning clean, and they're just having miscommunications out there.
So the second error of the inning for the Bulldogs coming from the infield, as Goodwin just kind of watched that one go by, and now you've got runners on the corner here as the pitcher Murdoch comes up to the plate.
Yeah, just looked to be a little bit of a lack of communication between the pitcher and his infielders. No one was quite sure who was going to first, and it's cost him another runner on base when you'd like to get out of the inning.
So runners on the corner here for the Blue Devils. If you're Goodwin, you got to get out of here with just 1 run allowed. Here's the pitch. That one in there for a strike, so there you go, Charlie Goodwin. Get yourself some of that confidence back here on the mound. Here's the 0-1. High for ball 1. Murdoch 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to second in his first at-bat. As he swings and misses at that one on a well inside pitch. Murdoch thought he could have made contact with him. Even if he did, it just would have been a jam pop out.
Yeah, look for Goodwin to really attack the strike zone here, try to force a ground out to get out of this inning, or strike out.
Mirsky's Cafe strikeout would be huge here for Charlie Goodwin.
build some confidence back for the team, who struggled with some infield defense.
As that one, ooh, that one outside for ball 2. The New Waverly faithful not happy about that one. Thought that should have been strike 3 and a Mirsky's Cafe strikeout looking.
Some booing and cheering simultaneously for that one. Well, controversial.
The 2-2, that one is hit over to left, and that is going to bring home Baker, and that is going to be a RBI single for the pitcher, Murdoch.
And unfortunately, baseball is a game of momentum. So, you know, where you probably should have been able to get out of the inning a couple batters ago, just those infield errors are starting to cost them now here in the 3rd inning.
And it was the 3rd inning that really hurt the Bulldogs in the last matchup as well. Again, it was only lost 4-3 in that one, but you gave up 3 runs in the 3rd. So this 3rd inning has been kind of a thorn in the side of the Bulldogs this whole series.
Just absolutely brutal way to give up another run. You know, you get that, you know, borderline questionable call. You think maybe you can get out of the inning, then the very next pitch, you're giving up an RBI single.
Goodwin gets that one high for ball 1, 1-0 here to Ramirez. Damien Ramirez, the Blue Devil first baseman. He faces a 1-0 with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. So Charlie Goodwin really working his arm in this inning. Hebel delivers the 2-0, and ooh, they're gonna say that one was low for ball 3. From this angle certainly looked like it was in the zone, but again, don't have the view of the umpire, so you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt on these calls. They do have the best angle.
Now you're good when you facing a not very favorable count and runners on first and second.
As he gets that one in there for a strike. How about that from the pitcher, Goodwin?
That's exactly what he needed in this at-bat. Let's see what he can do to continue working that momentum in his favor. You got to take it pitch by pitch.
Here's the 3-1. That one low for ball 4, and now
even the batter hesitated a little. He wasn't sure if he was out or not.
Bases are loaded here.
The right fielder, number 9, Dane Sunderland.
Dane Sunderland will step into the batter's box. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Bases loaded here with 2 outs in the top of the second if you're just joining, or excuse me, top of the 3rd if you're just joining us.
Yeah, just a brutal inning for the Bulldogs with the defensive miscommunications and the walks. It's just, you gotta have something fall your way.
As that one is hit over towards Conover, who's been a very reliable glove for the Bulldogs, and he gets the 3rd and final out of the inning for New Waverly. So New Waverly does surrender 2 runs there in the top of the 3rd, but some runners left on base for the Blue Devils, keeps the bleeding to a minimum, but they do lead this one 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. We'll be right back after this. Reminder, you're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Mirsky's Cafe New Waverly is open for breakfast at 7:30 a.m. on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so you can get a great start to your day. For lunch, chicken fried steaks, chicken fried chicken, and hamburger steaks, or go lighter with salads. They also have Taco Tuesday and Fish Fridays. Lunch begins at 11 a.m. Private dining room or catering available. Dine-in, curbside pickup, or to-go orders. Call 936-439-5039. Mirsky's Cafe New Waverly, 315 FM 1375. Check them out on Facebook, home of the world-famous Hootie Burger, and proud supporters of the Bulldogs.
We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning with 9, 1, and 2 due up to bat for the New Waverly Bulldogs in Tom, Zach, Conover, and Garrett, respectively. Got to dig themselves out of a little bit of a hole here as New Waverly does find themselves down in this area round matchup 2-0 as we again head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Definitely not a pretty inning there for the Bulldogs as they credit both of those runs to poor infield defense, just not able to get the job done. You saw the little gymnastics session at first with the miscommunication, miscommunications between the pitcher, the first baseman, and the second baseman. They're just going to have to try to get some of those runs back here.
Still a lot of baseball left to be played, though. 2-0 is not a big deficit, especially not in this sport, but Tom Zach with a big swing and miss at that one finds himself down 0-1.
Tom Zach's definitely trying to be aggressive early in the count here and try to get his team back in this any way he can.
As Murdoch paints the outside on that one, 0-2. Here's the pitch. In there. Ooh, no, they're going to say that one was just outside. Ball 1.
Some delayed umpire calls here a couple of times now.
It's kind of confused some of the batters on both sides here tonight.
Right, I noticed that last inning.
So here's the 1-2. That one is swung on by Tom Sack, but foul towards the New Waverly dugouts.
Good velocity on that one, just not quite in the location you want to hit it to.
So Tom Zach will remain alive in the at-bats. Faces a 1-2. Here's the pitch. Well inside for ball 2. Nearly got Tom Zach on the shin there. Probably one of the more painful places to be hit by a baseball.
Oh, it is not a good time.
Thankfully able to get out of the way of that one. Knotted up count at 2 apiece here to the catcher, Tom Zach. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for Amersky's Cafe strikeout to the pitcher, Max Tomzak, for the first out of the inning.
And Tom Zach trying to be aggressive that at-bat, swinging early, and unfortunately it just doesn't pay off for him. The aggression giveth, and the aggression taketh away.
So Colin Conover will now step back into the batter's box for the Bulldogs. They head back to the top of the lineup. He's 1 for 1 on the day, smacked a single back in the first.
So he's Conover to redeem himself a little for some of the defensive miscues in the last inning. This would be a great opportunity for him to do it.
So 1 out here with an 0-1 to Conover. Swings at that one. That one is going to have a play over there in foul territory, but the first baseman, Ramirez, can't get there. 0-2 here to shortstop. Excuse me, second baseman Conover.
Looks like the umpire might have been in the way of Ramirez there a little bit as he was trying to chase down that fly ball. They worked in Conover's favor.
Umpire is part of the field, so ooh, that one is hit hard, but again foul. So Conover with some good contact here, but just unable to keep it in play. So you know the minute this guy gets it in play, he's gonna have a play out there in the outfield. He's got some good speed on the base path too. Here's the 0-2. That one is hit hard over to first, but Ramirez just in the right place at the right time, and he is going to easily scoop that one out for the second out of the inning.
That's one of those unfortunate cases where you get good contact, you connect, and unfortunately it's just right into one of the infielder's gloves. Those are always the most brutal outs in this sport.
So the New Waverly shortstop, Cade Garrett, will now step back into the box. 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to right in his first at-bat. So he's looking to get involved in the action here tonight for the Bulldogs. Here's the first pitch from Murdoch. That one is chopped foul. So no play over there by Rodriguez.
Seen a lot of early aggression from these at-bats from the New Waverly Bulldogs. They are clearly trying to send a message this inning.
0-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. No runners on the base path for New Waverly. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Garrett as he faces an 0-2 count here. New Waverly running out of life here in the third on offense.
And that's the third pitcher's count this inning. They're just finding themselves falling behind in the count early in this inning.
0-2. That one is swung on, hit over to third. A diving attempt, but the ball is going to stay fair. Rodriguez can't get a glove on that one, and it's going to be a single for the shortstop, Garrett.
19, Charlie Goodwin.
And now the tying run does come up to the plate in Charlie Goodwin. Struck out in his first at-bat back in the first, but could get the rally started here in the bottom of the third as a good hit there by Garrett. Just kind of in between that third and short gap.
No, it was just perfectly placed where a third baseman and the shortstop both just kind of found themselves a little confused by it. Worked out great in his favor. Could be the start of something great.
So here's the first pitch to Goodwin. He swings at that one foul, so you're seeing a lot of aggression from these New Waverly batters early on in the count.
Absolutely, and you have to wonder after the defensive miscues in the top of the inning if they're trying to really just get on base any way they can, hit for power, and do everything they can to try to catch up and make up for those miscues from the top of the inning.
As there is a runner on the base path in Conover, he's going to steal second pretty easily. A wild pitch there by Murdoch to Goodwin, and now Conover Garrett with good speed over there on second. Read my lineup card wrong there, but now
Happens.
you've got a runner with good speed in scoring position.
Oh, they called that last one a strike.
Ooh, man.
I swore that was a ball.
So an 0-2 here to the pitcher, Goodwin. Apologies for that. Initially thought it was called a ball, but now a donut and 2 count here to the pitcher, Goodwin. With a runner on second in Conover. Murdoch peeks over, gets a sizable lead. Goodwin takes that one for strike 3 looking, and that is going to be the third and final out of the inning for the New Waverly Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs leave a runner on the base path in Cade Garrett as Charlie Goodwin strikes out looking as we head to the top of the 4th inning here in Athens, Texas. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be back after this.
I'm Kobe Lovell, 2020 World Champion hitter, 7-time NFR qualifier.
I'm Ricky Canton, 15-time NFR qualifier, and currently hold the world's record in the calf rovement.
I'm Cody Johnson. I'm a platinum recording country music artist, cowboy team roper.
And I'm No Bull Bill, and I sell trucks. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, at least I sell them to the cool people.
The sun is starting to set here in Athens, Texas, as we head to the top of the 4th inning with the New Waverly Bulldogs finding themselves down 2-0 here, but still a lot of baseball left to be played. 9-1-2 due up for the Central Heights Blue Devils. I want to thank everyone again for tuning into the broadcast today. So I want to remind everyone listening to listen to today's best country and all your favorites, whether you may be with the KSAM mobile app. It's in your app store for Androids and iPhones now. Take your hometown radio station with you in the car, at home, or while you're out for a run. The KSAM mobile app. Download today.
And that sun is starting to set, and the temperatures are starting to drop here in Athens. It is an absolutely beautiful May evening, just about the perfect baseball weather. A little chilly. Maybe I should have brought my hoodie, but the weather is perfect regardless.
So Cade Masora 0 for 1 on the day. He's batting 0-0 for the Blue Devils. The center fielder today. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat by Goodwin. Well inside for ball 1. Oh, they're going to call that a strike.
Goodness me.
Very delayed call from the umpire.
That one made me hit the wrong button.
So, an 0-1 count here to Masora. That one, another pitch inside. Knotted up count at 1 apiece. On a 1-1. That one low for ball 2 by Goodwin. Trying to get Masora to go fishing down low in the zone, but lays off of it, does the center fielder.
Yeah, good eye there, not falling for that one. Just working the count a little more in his favor. And it looks like he's going to do it again.
Goodwin trying to get some movement on that one. Just kind of starts going over home plate and just kind of hooks outside. So a 3-1 here to Masora.
Very favorable count here for Masora.
This is Goodwin puts that one outside the strike zone, is going to walk Masora.
He had all the confidence in the world, but that one was outside the strike zone.
So another walk surrendered by Goodwin. Had one back in the 3rd as well. So that's his 2nd walk allowed today.
Back-to-back walks, obviously a very disciplined hitter. He's having himself a good eye today.
As into the batter's box will step Brady Owen, the catcher. Reached on an error back in the 3rd, so he's going to lay down a bunt. Goodwin's able to make the diving catch. And how about that from Charlie Goodwin, a double play. So an error on the base path by Masora. Didn't expect Goodwin to get to that one, but wow, the junior pitcher putting his body on the line for his team.
You can see his reaction there as he's running back from second. He knows he's out. He made a base running mistake. That's... If you're the new Waverly Bulldogs, you just got yourself a very big break. We've seen some infield errors from both teams now.
How about Charlie Goodwin with a heads-up play from his knees to throw that one over to Hathorn.
What a throw that was. That was absolutely fantastic.
So now it's 2 outs here. Is that one in there for a strike? Scoreboard here still, unfortunately, hasn't updated, but it is 2 outs.
Goodwin being aggressive with the strike zone here early, looking to get this last out of the inning.
As he slides that one over home plate, calls that one a ball.
New Waverly faithful did not like that one.
It's definitely just been some interesting calls here tonight. Again, don't have the best angle on it. Leave that to the umpires, but at least from here, you know, some of these calls really could go either way. So a 2-1 here to Baker. The 2-1. Inside. Oh, they're going to call it again. Going to call that one a strike. A couple pitches inside that kind of near the batter. Very close, but
painted right there on the inside of the zone. That was a beautiful pitch.
Good pitch by Goodwin. Again, a lot of delayed calls from the umpire. So 2-2. Swing and a miss for a Mertzke's Cafe strikeout for the third and final out of the inning, courtesy of the arm of the junior pitcher Charlie Goodwin. First makes the phenomenal diving catch and then gets the Mertzke's Cafe strikeout on Baker for the third and final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth with the Bulldogs due back up to bat after a strikeout swing in here in the top of the fourth. So we'll be right back after this. I want to remind everyone listening, you're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Huntsville wakes up to the all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy. Get a positive start on your workday with local news, weather and sports, and some inspiration and laughs to warm you like a hot cup of coffee. And now you can join the daily conversation with Brian and Tracy by calling or texting the KSAM listener line at 936-295-4102. Come on, neighbor. The all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy on 101.7 KSAM.
We head to the bottom of the fourth inning here in Athens, Texas. New Waverly back up to bat. 4, 5, and 6, the meat of the lineup here for the Bulldogs. We'll step into the batter's box. So find themselves down 2-0. So you've got to get this part of the offense going here if you're New Waverly. As Hunter Henry, the phenomenal center fielder for the Bulldogs, is back in the batter's box. No at-bats today as he did walk in his back in the first. So he's looking for his first hit of the night.
He had a good eye with that walk a couple innings ago. He's absolutely showing great plate discipline tonight. And he'll look to continue that here with this at-bat.
His first pitch of the at-bat to Henry. Ooh, right on the back.
Clunked.
So Henry will reach the base path. Still no hits on the day. Unfortunately, took one right on the bat, but
no hits, but he's been on base.
He's been on base. Been on base. Hey, it's a very good quote by Vin Diesel. It doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile. Winning is winning, and Hunter Henry has exemplified that tonight. Been on the base path both times for the Bulldogs. So he takes a laser in the back there. That one hurt.
That one hurt me a little.
So now Jackson Hathorn into the box for the Bulldogs. Does represent the tying run in this contest, well outside and low for ball one.
Oh, a little bobble by the catcher there.
Yeah, pitcher Owen had a little bit of trouble handling that one.
Wasn't quite sure where that ball went. He was looking to try to pick off the runner at first.
Henry holds up over there. Doesn't have much of a lead yet. Takes it. Still not much of a lead. Probably looking to stay here. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit over towards Bryant. He's going to make the play, and that is going to be out at second, but safe at first. So Hathorn is able to beat out the throw to get on base, but Hunter Henry will be out.
So you're right back in the same position as before. Runner on first, but just have an out now. But not worst case scenario. They were able to save themselves from the double play.
So Jace Card now into the batter's box. He's batting 1,000 today. Smacked a single back in the second, but then got caught up on the base path on a 4-6-3 double play. So he takes that one for a strike.
Right on the outside of the zone. Peyton the corners there.
Sun beginning to set here in Athens. So here's the 0-1. That one is hit over toward right field. Sunderland is going to fall under that one, and that's going to be the second out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
The right fielder, number 9, Crawford Wassner.
Crawford Racner will now step into the box for New Waverly, as William Coley warms up in the on-deck circle. His first pitch of the at-bat. Murdoch peeks over at first, delivers the pitch in there for a strike. So an 0-1 here to Reisner with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-1. Low for ball 1. So Henry, Hathorn, still over at first. So he takes that one well inside, does Reisner for ball 2.
Good plate discipline by Reisner, not buying any of this stuff the pitcher's selling outside the zone. Working a great at bat.
The 2-1. Outside for ball 3. So Reisner with a good eye there, and he could put runners on first and second with a walk to bring up William Coley, the DH.
Yeah, Reisner's worked himself into a very favorable count here. He's looks to try to draw himself the walk. I'd bet that he doesn't swing at this one.
3-1. Does swing at that one right to the catcher. Murdoch makes the play, and that is going to be the third and final out of the inning for the Bulldogs on a short hop to the pitcher, Trapper Murdoch.
And that is what we call the commentator's curse.
Indeed it is for the third and final out of the inning. Unfortunate for the Bulldogs, but still a lot of baseball left to be played here in Athens, Texas, as the Blue Devils are due up. 3, 4, and 5 will come up to bat at least for Central Heights. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be back after this.
Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, ksam1017.com.
Charlie Goodwin still on the mound here for the Bulldogs as we head to the top of the 5th inning. 3, 4, and 5 in Rodriguez, Williamson, and Bryant due up for Central Heights here. As they find themselves up 2-0 here in Athens, Texas, here in this 3A area round matchup. While we have this pause in the action, we'll go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. New Waverly Bulldog Baseball is presented by Wiesner of Huntsville, home of the bottom line. And also brought to you in part by Frank's Taco Station in Riverside, Country Kitchen, tacos and more. Probably one of my favorite ad reads is Frank's Taco Station. Just so much fun to say. Country Kitchen, tacos and more. As into the batter's box will come Rodriguez, the third baseman for the Blue Devils. Takes that one for a strike. So he faces an 0-1 here early in the top of the 5th. The 0-1. That one doesn't paint the corner, so a 1-1 here to the third baseman, Rodriguez. The 1-1. That one is swung on, but foul. So no play over there by Lane Fortune, playing at third today for the Bulldogs. Rodriguez now faces a 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for a Merski's Cafe strikeout by the junior pitcher Charlie Goodwin. Gets the first out of the inning for the New Waverly Bulldogs.
The designated hitter, number 18, Luke Williamson.
So that'll be the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs, as now into the batter's box will step Luke Williamson. He's 1 for 2 on the day, batting an even .500 for the Blue Devils. So here's the first pitch to him. A lot of movement on that one. In there for a strike. How about that movement from Charlie Goodwin? Started high, excuse me, ended up low in the zone. Now an 0-1 here to Williamson. That one is swung on, hit over into left. Card is tracking, and Card is going to make the routine catch for the second out of the inning for New Waverly.
2 quick outs here for the Bulldogs. They look to keep this game right where it's at.
So Bo,
great start.
Bo Bryant now up to bat for the Blue Devils, the shortstop. In there for a strike by Goodwin. Bryant still no official hits on the day or at bats. He was hit by a pitch back in the first and reached on an error in the third. So he faces an 0-1 here from Goodwin. He swings at that one. That one is heading back over to shortstop and Garrett, and he's going to make the catch. Kind of lost the ball there in the sky, but Cade Garrett makes the third and final out of the inning for New Waverly as they go 3 up, 3 down to the Blue Devils. So no runs allowed by the Bulldogs. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Athens, Texas. 8:91 due up for the Bulldogs here on the KSAM Sports Network. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be back after this.
Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here with Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. And summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $41,980 after rebates, or a 25 Chevy RS Trailblazer starting at only $26,960 after rebates. We even have a great selection of EV vehicles to choose from. So hurry down to Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville to see these great vehicles and smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Sweet Caroline playing here on the PA announcer as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Athens, Texas. Again, 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Bulldogs in Coley, Tomzak, and Conover. While we have this pause in the action, let's go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible.
We sure will, Houston. This broadcast of New Waverly Bulldog Baseball is brought to you in part by Community Service Credit Union. Bank happy, spend smart, and live well. Member of NCUA, and by Hartfield Florist, personalizing your events since 1957.
Just check the YouTube stream here on my phone. Got 145 listeners and watchers here on the YouTube channel, so we want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight to watch this exciting matchup between New Waverly and Central Heights.
Shout out to each and every one of our listeners. We love you so much as we cover this absolute pitcher's duel here in Athens, Texas.
Big shout out to all the listeners. Again, this isn't possible without you as he takes that one, hits him on
right on the elbow.
The elbow,
right
yeah.
On the elbow. So
Coley struck out back in the first, is able to get on the base path for the Bulldogs here in the 5th on an HBP.
That's are we up to 3 hit by pitches here for the Bulldogs?
It's 2 or 3. 2 by my scorecard, 1 back in the 4th, and now that one. So
okay.
Murdoch losing maybe a little bit of that control that he's shown throughout all the game as he puts a runner on the base path with no outs here for the catcher Tomzak. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat in the 3rd. But a big spot here is Murdoch nearly got him on the knees there. 1-0.
Himself throwing inside a little bit this inning.
Tomzak, the lefty, looking to get on base for the Bulldogs as he watches that one sail outside the zone, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. That one is swung on and hit hard by Tomzak, but back here into the netting. So he now gives Murdoch a strike in the at-bat, 2-1. Here to Tomzak.
Tom Zach working a great at-bat here. Seeing, gosh, that pitch was well inside for ball 3.
So Tom Zach
working himself a great at-bat here.
Tom Zach, only a freshman. He's had some really clutch at-bats in the games we've been able to cover. He's had a really big, impactful bat here for the Bulldogs as he faces a 3-1, chops that one foul, so no play for Ramirez over at first. So now he will load up the count, 3-2.
Loaded count here for the freshman, who's shown fantastic plate discipline for a freshman. That's do him well in the future. That's what you'd love to see from your young players.
Full count here. He hits that one out into center, and that ball is going to get down for a hit. Tom Zach with a stand-up single to advance the runner in. Coley over to second, and now all of a sudden the Bulldogs getting a little bit of momentum in their favor.
The second baseman, number 5, Colin Conover.
Beautiful piece of hitting there by Tom Zach. Just blooped that one over into center, gets himself a single, and now there's going to be a mound visit here for the pitcher, Trapper Murdoch.
That was a beautiful hit by Tom Zach. Great at-bat, showed a lot of discipline, and Murdoch's pitches were falling outside the zone. And while we have a break in the action, I'd like to thank more of our wonderful sponsors. This broadcast of New Waverly Bulldog Baseball is brought to you in part by Bill Fick Ford. No bull, just good deals. And by Mirsky's Cafe in New Waverly, home of the world-famous Hootie Burger and proud supporter of the Bulldogs.
So if you're New Waverly here in this situation, you've got runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. You don't have to get it all back in one swing. If you can scratch 1 or 2 runs across the board here, be huge. But you still got 9 outs to work with, and I'm sure head coach Aaron Compton is preaching that to his guys.
Yeah, the key here is going to be small ball. The pitching has been absolutely dominant by both sides this game. You want to take advantage of any of those small hits you can get, like that blooper we saw from Tom Zach. That's what's going to get the Bulldogs back into this game. Now keep playing the small ball game, keep pushing those runners across. Luck will fall in your favor.
Colin Conover, the Bulldogs' second baseman, back into the batter's box, batting an even .500 on the day. Watches that one sail outside the strike zone, 1-0.
Great start to the at-bat for Conover, not falling for it on that one, able to take that one and work himself into a favorable 1-0 count.
Murdoch peeks over at Coley. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on hard, but fouled by Conover, so a lot of power there by the second baseman.
Ooh, that one frightened me a little.
If he can put a hot shot like that into play, he has the potential to score both Coley and Tom Zach.
Conover calls time. What was that, Murdoch? Can't quite tell what's going on here. Murdoch's having some kind of word with his shortstop? Question mark?
Looks like the third baseman in Rodriguez is coming over to talk with his pitcher, maybe just get some words of encouragement. As he does face a little bit of a jam here, courtesy of the Bulldogs. Again, an HBP on Coley, the DH, and then a blooper by Tom Zach into center. Has put 2 runners on the base path for New Waverly here in the bottom of the 5th. No outs.
And one big swing by Conover here could turn this game completely upside down in the Bulldogs' favor.
Shows bunt, lays off that one, 2-1. Way to lay off that one.
Interesting strategy there to show bunt.
Probably just trying to throw the pitcher in Murdoch off his rhythm. So he laid off that one. That one was high outside the strike zone, so Conover pulls the bat back.
It worked out great for him.
Finds himself up in the count, 2-1. Here's shows bunt, lays down a beauty near Murdoch, and he is going to make the play over at first, but it will advance both Coley and Tom Zach to second and third. There's the small ball that you were talking about earlier, Justin.
Absolutely, yeah, advancing those runners on the bases. Now both of them are in scoring position. Now Kurt, all he's got to do is hit himself a single, and we have got ourselves a tied ball game. Very good small ball by the New Waverly Bulldogs.
And it was a great bunt by Conover.
Perfect. That was a textbook bunt.
Murdoch.
That's what you love to see.
Murdoch able to run in that one. Initially thought he might have been able to beat that out, but...
Oh, he put some speed on it. It was very close. The art of the bunt is not dead, folks.
So now Cade Garrett The Bulldogs shortstop into the batter's box, batting an even 500 on the day for New Waverly. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Swing and a miss, so nothing in one here to Garrett.
Yeah, some aggression early on by Garrett, who's looking to drive these runners in, put his team in a better position to win this thing. It's been an absolute pitcher's duel, and you got to take advantage of these hits when you can get them.
The 0-1. That one is hit over into right. That ball is going to go foul. So no play out there in right for Sunderland. But a good piece of hitting there by Garrett. Just got to keep that one fair.
Yeah, big key for Garrett here is to not ground out into the double play if you are going to get out. Just get out looking. Don't give him an opportunity to get any more outs on your team.
The 0-2 to the shortstop. Here's the pitch from Murdoch. That one is swung on and no.
Nope, they're going to call that one.
They're going to say he held off that one.
Yeah, they're going to say he held off. Well,
Blue Devil faithful not happy
about
about that one, but
that one in the dugout at all.
Cade Garrett finding himself some new life here in the at-bat in the bottom of the 5th.
Definitely expletives over there. Manager was jumping.
So now 1-2 here to Cade Garrett. Runners on second and third. He swings at that one. That one is gonna be caught over there in right by Sunderland, but the runner is gonna tag up, and there's gonna be, he's gonna be out. Wow.
Touched him.
Wow. What a throw from Sunderland to Owen. Is able to tag out Coley, and no runs are gonna be scratched across the board for the Bulldogs. My goodness.
That is a textbook throw from the outfield. Textbook catch by the catcher, who was able to just graze him right as he ran past him. That is a 1 in a million play right there. Just bad luck if you're the Bulldogs.
If you're New Waverly, you've got 6 outs to work with if you want to get back into this one. But first, you've got to take care of your business on the defensive end as we head to the top of the 6th. New Waverly's still down in this one, 2-0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network.
This is Cicely again with Hartfield Florist. In business for over 50 years, at Hartfield's we strive to meet all your floral needs every day. From birthdays and anniversaries to weddings and other special occasions, we can bring your vision to life and customize your unique request. Give us a call at 295-5448 or visit us online at huntsvillehartfieldflorist.com. The Pierce family and everyone at Hartfield's wants to say thank you for allowing us to personalize your events just like we've been doing since 1957.
6, 7, and 8 due up for the Blue Devils as we head to the top of the 6th inning here in Athens. Texans want to remind everyone listening to keep up to date with all things regarding your hometown radio station on social media. Follow us on Facebook, X, and on Instagram at KSAM-1017 for all the latest in Huntsville and Walker County. Goodwin still on the mound for head coach Aaron Compton. Has faith in his junior pitcher to finish this one out. And apart from that 3rd inning, he has been lights out as he went 3 up, 3 down there back in the 5th inning. So having a lot of confidence in this kid to ride it out and finish it out for the Bulldogs.
It has been an absolute pitcher's duel here in Athens. Like you said, outside of that 3rd inning, it's really just a matter of who bends but doesn't break here as we get into the last 2 innings of the ball game.
So here comes Trapper Murdoch into the batter's box. 1 for 2 on the day, slapped a single back in the 3rd, but grounded out in his first at-bat in the 1st as he watches that one sail low and away, 1-0. Watches that one in there for a strike. How about Goodwin locating the zone there to even the count at 1 apiece? Here's the 1-1 from Goodwin. That one is swung on over to 3rd. Fortune is going to make the play, and the throw is in time. Good scoop over there by Jackson Hathorn at first for the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
The first baseman, number 8, Damien Ramirez.
So Damien Ramirez now back into the batter's box for Central Heights. He's 1 for 1 on the day, walked in the third, or excuse me, 0 for 1 on the day, walked back in the third, but grounded out as he hits that one over into left. Card is running, but can't make the play on that one. Just kind of watches it bounce in front of him on an awkward bloop, and he is going to reach a double, is the batter in Ramirez.
Not ideal. You're not going to want to be giving up doubles at this point in the ball game. Bit of a strange throw, bit of a strange hit, the way it just kind of hung in the air for a bit. You could tell it confused the left fielder just a little bit, and they were able to turn it into a double. Now, the Blue Devils have a runner in scoring position.
Looked like Jace Card had the angle on it out there and left, just may have lost it in the lights. It kind of just bounced right in front of him, so now runner on second with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. As Sunderland, the right fielder, who made the phenomenal throw in the previous inning, he's 0 for 2 on the day. And Goodwin looking to get a big time out here. 1-1 count. There you go, kid.
Yeah, good call, good job by Goodwin painting the corners there, keeping the hitter off balance.
Goodwin peeks over at second, delivers the pitch. That one hit foul, so no play for Central Heights on that one.
Yeah, big opportunity for Goodwin here to get the strikeout. Now you got 2 outs. Runner still at second, but you find yourself a little more in control of the inning with 2 outs.
1-2, that one hit back into the netting here. As Masora in the on-deck circle for the Blue Devils. But a 1-2 here to Sunderland from Goodwin. Here's the pitch. That one hit hard, but foul.
Sunderland staying alive here. Just batting these away, looking for his pitch.
If you're Goodwin, you don't want to get into these long at-bats, especially as this one starts to rear towards the end. He faces a 1-2 here on the batter, Sunderland. Here's the pitch. That one is hit over towards Conover. He is going to make the play over at first, just in time.
Bit of hesitation there by Conover. You saw he looked to third to maybe make the play there, but then defaulted back to first.
So the runner in Ramirez will advance over to third. So now a runner in prime scoring position for the Blue Devils.
But what New Waverly's done is they've taken away the opportunity for the sacrifice fly from third, which is big.
So Masora will now step into the batter's box. He hits that one over to Goodwin. Goodwin can't get the play, and he is going to be safe at first. I'm not sure why Goodwin didn't try for home there, but it will scratch another run across the board for the Blue Devils as Goodwin just unable to field that one. It's a tough play.
Yeah, just a bit of hesitation right there toward the end by Goodwin. Looked like he got a bit of tunnel vision toward first. My goodness, sorry. Wasn't able to look over and see the play at home.
So Ramirez will come home on that one. Just kind of an awkward hit by the center fielder Masora towards Goodwin. He beats out the throw. No throw from Goodwin. Good speed by Masora. So now,
and that's kind of been the tale all night. Just awkward hits for Goodwin that just don't quite go his way.
Here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Owen. That one is skied over in the left, but Card is going to get under that one, and he will make this play. So New Waverly does surrender a run in the top of the 6th, but it's only 3-0, and now the Bulldogs have 6 outs to work with to stay alive in this one. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be back after this.
Hi, this is Devin Blakely with Community Service Credit Union. With our members constantly on the go, CSU is dedicated to making banking as safe and as easy as possible. Wherever life takes you, our nearest branch is right in your pocket with the CSU mobile app. You can check account balances, pay bills, and even make check deposits with the CSU mobile app. You can also monitor your credit score with CreditSense. CSU Mobile is available in the App Store and Google Play. Community Service Credit Union, member of NCUA.
We head to the the bottom of the 6th here in Athens, Texas. 3, 4, and 5 in Goodwin, Henry, and Hathorne due up for New Waverly as they find themselves down 3-0 here. As you can see from the scoreboard, a lot of hits for New Waverly. 7 hits on the day, just leaving runners on the base path are the Bulldogs. as we head to the bottom of the 6th. New Waverly has a little bit of a hole to dig themselves out of here if they want to stay alive in this one.
Yeah, definitely a pitcher's duel that just hasn't quite gone New Waverly's way. A bit unfortunate. When it comes to pitcher's duels like this, it can just be small things like the infield errors we saw in the 3rd inning that can really pile up and break you in games like this. New Waverly's going to have to play perfect in order to keep this right where it is and have a chance to come back.
So if you're the Bulldogs, 6 outs left to work with to keep your season alive. As into the batter's box is the big pitcher, Charlie Goodwin. Still looking for his first official hit of the day. Struck out swinging in the 1st and struck out looking in the 3rd. So hopefully he can get a different result here. As Trapper Murdoch still on the mound for the Blue Devils. He's pitched a pretty phenomenal game here, all things considered. So sometimes, you know, you just got to tip your cap at an opposing pitcher and say, that guy's pitched phenomenal. Now let's go scratch some runs across the board. Again, don't have to get it all right back here in the 6th inning, but it'd be paramount for the Bulldogs to scratch 1, maybe 2 runs across the board. Obviously, it'd be really good if they could scratch 3 or 4, but.
No, we've seen the Bulldogs play great small ball tonight. Just hasn't gone in their favor, you know, in the end results, but the small ball is there. The last step of the equation is just being able to push some of those runners across the home plate.
So his first pitch of the at-bat to Goodwin. Well inside, ball 1. Good eye there by the junior pitcher. Gets up in the count, 1-0. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, so tie count here, 1 apiece. Goodwin calls time here.
Gonna have himself a word with his coach.
One of the assistant coaches for New Waverly coming to talk over to Charlie Goodwin, give him some tips. Struggled a little bit tonight with the bat, has Charlie Goodwin, 0 for 2 on the day.
Definitely a little bit of hesitation to swing at some of these. You got to wonder if he's just waiting for the right pitch or what's going through his mind. Maybe that's why his assistant coach, you know, pulled him over and talked to him for a second, build that confidence a little bit.
Here's the 1-1. Well outside for ball 2. Murdoch trying to paint the corner there on the right side of the zone, but unable to locate, so now Goodwin gets ahead. The 2-1. In there for a strike, and that seems like a pitch Goodwin would want to swing at. Just, again, a little bit of a hesitation. If he can just swing that bat and put it in play, got to get some runners on the base path here if you're the Bulldogs. The 2-2, swing and a miss, and that was going to be a strikeout swinging for the pitcher, Charlie Goodwin, for the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, looks like he got a piece of that one. Never mind.
Oh, goodness me. I got to reset the count.
They're going to say Goodwin got a piece of that one. Excuse me. So 2-2 count here. Is that one?
It makes it 3-2.
Low for ball 3, so apologies for that, folks. Didn't hear.
That confused everybody, I think.
Didn't hear any contact on the bat, so.
No, we did not.
Do apologize for that, but a full count here to the pitcher, Goodwin.
Somebody called timeout there.
Looks like it was the batter and Goodwin. Just needed a moment to compose himself.
Strategy by Goodwin, trying to throw the pitcher off balance any way he can.
Here's the payoff pitch. Well inside, ball 4, take your base, Charlie Goodwin. So he comes back from the dead and gets himself on the base path.
So we go from thinking we got an out with no runners on base to a runner on base and no outs for the Bulldogs.
So a pinch runner in here for the pitcher in Goodwin. That's going to be number 1, Daniel Nixon.
Great job by Goodwin not folding to pressure in that situation to swing the pitch he didn't like, able to draw the walk and put his team in a great position here at the bottom of the 6th.
Just way to stay alive, able to maybe just get a centimeter, half a centimeter of his bat on that ball. I mean,
stay alive and even confuse the broadcasters.
Yeah, stay alive and get on the base path. Again, if you're New Waverly, you've got to start scratching some runs across the board. You don't have a lot to work with here. So here comes Hunter Henry, center fielder for the Bulldogs. Takes that one for ball one.
Good take by Henry there.
Again, no official at-bats on the day as he has walked and been hit by a pitch, so
we'll see if he can look to do that again here.
he's looking to swing the bat.
Ideal.
He's looking to swing the bat probably. He does have a lot of power. 1-0, he swings at that one, hits that one over to Davis. Davis is going to make the play over at short, but Henry is going to beat out the throw. So a runner will stay at first for the Bulldogs, but Nixon will be out.
Yeah, runner on first still. So you find it good on him for being able to beat out the double play. Keep the team in a relatively favorable position. You still got the runner on first, 1 out, but still plenty of opportunity to score some runs this inning.
Jackson Hathorn now into the batter's box for the Bulldogs. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Looking to swing the bat in a big spot. Pickup attempt over at first by Murdoch. Safe over there is Henry. Slides right under that tag. So here's the first pitch of the at-bat. The windup. Low for ball one, and Henry safe with a big lead over there at first, but didn't steal, and Owen's keeping him honest over there.
That was about as big of a lead as you can get without getting thrown out.
So Hathorn faces a 1-0 here from the pitcher Murdoch. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he's going to go for second, and he is going to be well out. What a throw by Brady Owen to get the second out of the inning. Catches Hunter Henry on a steal attempt. And now New Waverly with only 4 outs to work with here in this ball game to keep their season alive.
Yeah, not ideal for the Bulldogs there, failing on the steal. I can see the logic in it, wanting to push your runner to scoring position, but you find yourself in a much worse position.
Well inside on that pitch, ball 2 to Hathorn. Murdoch has pitched a lot inside these past few innings, so hit a couple of batters and walked a couple of batters, has the pitcher. So
he's still got a 0 on the scoreboard, so it's working for him.
That one into the turf, 3-1 to Hathorn.
The first baseman Hathorn finds himself in a very favorable count here.
See, watches that one slowly float into the zone, and now count's loaded.
What a pitch by Murdoch there, able to pick up the second strike and load this count up.
The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and that will be the end of the 6th inning. Bulldogs with a 3rd and final out of the inning as we head to the top of the 7th with 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Blue Devils. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here, and summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $34,580 after rebates, or a 25 Buick Envision starting at only $34,950 after rebates, or a 2025 Buick Encore GX starting at only $22,980. We also have a great selection of EVs to choose from, so hurry down to Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville and see these great vehicles and smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Baker, Rodriguez, and Williamson will step into the batter's box at a minimum for the Blue Devils as we head to the top of the 7th here in Athens, Texas. New Waverly still down 3-0. They've kept it close throughout the night. You know, kind of an unfortunate spot there in the 3rd, allowing 2 runs to get across the board there in the 3rd on a couple of errors, and then in that 7th, able to just get 1 more. So if you're the Bulldogs, it is vital that you do not allow any runs here in the 7th if you want to stay in this one.
Yeah, and technically, New Waverly, the Bulldogs have out-hit the Blue Devils. It just hasn't worked out in their favor, unfortunately, in this pitcher's duel. It's fantastic pitching by both sides. Blue Devils just able to do a little bit more when it counts, unfortunately, and that's how these pitcher's duels go sometimes.
New Waverly with 8 hits on the day, leaving a lot of runners on the base path. Don't have the official count. See if we can get that post game, but I mean, they have just stranded runners all night. And especially in a playoff scenario, you don't want to do that. But you see on the mound, Charlie Goodwin's still out there for head coach Aaron Compton. He's going to let him finish this one out. He's pitched phenomenally tonight.
No, and you'll see that at every level of baseball. Leaving runners on base like that in vital games like this is going to bite you every time. You combine that with the infield errors from earlier, and that's how the Bulldogs find themselves in the situation that they're in.
So into the batter's box will come Baker, the Blue Devil left fielder. No hits on the day, 0 for 2, flew out and struck out respectively in his at-bats. He shows bunt, and Goodwin's going to have to hustle over to that one. That one's going to go foul, so no play there over for Tom Zach, the freshman catcher. 0-1.
A beautiful moon coming out tonight on this Friday night. Just a perfect backdrop for some playoff baseball.
As we said in the pregame weather report, moon is going to be out tonight.
What did you call that moon again?
It's waxing gibbous, 94% illumination.
Beautiful.
As he gets in there for a strike, does Goodwin on Logan Baker for an 0-2. So New Waverly looking to stay alive in this one. Again, talked about it coming into the inning. If you are the Bulldogs, you cannot allow another run here if you want to stay in this one, as that one is hit hard, but it's going to stay fair.
Absolutely drilled there into the outfield.
Baker is going to reach second on an absolute missile. A close play over there on the third base line, but Logan Baker is going to be safe at second. Still no outs here in the 7th, and you have to imagine head coach Aaron Compton might have a word with his junior pitcher here.
Yeah, just an absolute textbook double there by Blue Devils. Hugged the foul line. Those are the kinds of hits that give outfielders fits.
The ball just placed right there on the line, a very close play. Didn't have the best angle on it, but we'll put a runner on second for the Blue Devils as Goodwin pitches inside to Rodriguez. .333 batting average on the day for Rodriguez. Got his first hit of the game in the first and hasn't been on the base path for the Blue Devils since. He faces a 1-0 from Goodwin. Peeks over at second. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, a delayed call from the umpire, but
definitely a bit of a delay there.
Knots it up at 1 apiece. Now Goodwin getting a little bit of his confidence back after allowing that double to Baker. The 1-1. That one is swung on. That ball is going back towards center, and it's just going to drop.
Yeah, no one was able to quite see where it was. It looked like they lost it in the light a bit.
That's going to bring home Logan Baker. Another double here for the Blue Devils, and can't let the floodgates open if you're Charlie Goodwin, especially when you're trying to stay in this one.
Yeah, just back-to-back doubles there by the Blue Devils. Sorry about that. It looked like the outfield just wasn't quite sure where that one was going to land. Both the left fielder and the center fielder seemed a bit confused. That allows them to scratch another run on.
Luke Williamson, the Blue Devil DH, now in the batter's box for Central Heights. As time has been called here. Courtesy runner coming in for the Blue Devils. That is going to be number 13, Trey Pennywell.
For the Blue Devils, number 13, Trey Pennywell.
Courtesy runner here on the base path coming in for Rodriguez. So they're putting a little bit of speed on the base path. They're trying to scratch as many.
To pile it on here. They don't want this game to be close.
With no outs in the top of the 7th and a runner on second with good speed. You've got to be careful if you're Goodwin. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. That one's hit over to Hathorn. He can't make the play, and that is just going to bloop over there into right, and Pennywell's going to hold up at third. But it's going to be a single for Luke Williamson, and you have to imagine.
Double, single. Goodwin starting to give up the hits a little bit. The floodgates are got the potential to be opened here.
There's the mound visit from head coach Aaron Compton, checking in on his junior pitcher, who's pitched so well tonight. Again, some blight spots there in the 3rd, and you could argue the 6th, but this has probably been his worst inning pitch, as his night is going to be done see who's going to come in for relief of him here shortly. When we have that information for you, we will get it to you. But for now, we'll go ahead and head to a break and be right back after this. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
Let's drive in the summer in your new ride from Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here, and summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $34,580 after rebates, or a 25 Buick Envision starting at only $34,950 after rebates, or a 2025 Buick Encore GX starting at only $22,980. We also have a great selection of EVs to choose from, so hurry down to Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville and see these great vehicles and smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Welcome back into the KSAM Sports Network. On the mound for the Bulldogs is going to be Hunter Henry, the center fielder for the Bulldogs, and in center in his place is going to be Casey Diprey. So a little bit of alignment changes here for the Bulldogs. They're just looking to get out of this one. Again, it's still 4-0. It's still doable. But if you want to stay in this one, you have got to let that one run be the only one you allow here.
And Henry's inheriting a very tough situation here. Runners on the corners and no outs. It is going to be a challenge to not allow any more runs across the board as the Blue Devils are starting to get hot with the bats. They are seeing the ball well. They're not going to want to allow any more of that if you're Hunter Henry.
3 batters, 3 hits allowed by Charlie Goodwin here in the top of the 7th. Baker smacked a double. Rodriguez smacked a double to bring him home. And then Luke Williamson just put one in play for a single. So again, Rod, now you've got runners on, painted on the corners, and good speed over there in a Pennywell at third, the courtesy runner for Rodriguez. And no outs. Hunter Henry continues to take his warm-up pitches here in Athens. We'll go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible.
We sure will, Houston. New Waverly Bulldog Playoff Baseball is presented by Wiesner of Huntsville, home of the bottom line, and also brought to you in part by Frank's Taco Station in Riverside, Country Kitchen Tacos, and more.
So into the batter's box for the Blue Devils, as that one is well outside, is going to be number 17, Bo Bryant, still in the game. Initially thought they may have had a new batter in, but it is still Bo Bryant. So still no official hits on the day for him. Hit by a pitch back in the first, reach on an error in the third, and flew out in the 5th, as Henry able to get that one in for a strike. So a Mirsky's Cafe would be huge for Hunter Henry here to kind of get some confidence going and some momentum swung back in favor of New Waverly. The 1-1 and the steal attempt, and the throw is not in time. Another pickoff attempt by the shortstop Conover, or second baseman, excuse me.
Well, Conover, I think you saw the shortstop wasn't going to have it, so he steps in to make sure it didn't fly into the outfield and score a run. It's actually pretty smart defense.
Looked like it may have been a play, but again, just
no, it was veering off to the left.
So 3-1 here to Bryant with runners on second and third. Again, if you're the Bulldogs, you cannot allow another run here. That one in there for a strike. There you go, Hunter Henry. Good location on that pitch. Yeah, loads the count.
Yeah, Mirsky's Cafe strikeout here would be huge for Hunter Henry, able to get a little bit of control in this inning. Wasn't able to do it, and he's going to load the bases.
It will not happen there as Bo Bryant walks. Advances Williamson over to third. So you've got, or excuse me, he'll stay at second. Bryant at first, Williamson at second. Pennywell, the courtesy runner for Rodriguez at third. Bases loaded, no outs.
Murdoch.
For the pitcher, Murdoch. 333 batting average on the day as he takes that one for a strike. 0-1.
Yeah, Murdoch's really got the potential to break this game wide open with one swing of the bat. It is imperative that Henry does something to stop the bleeding.
So that one outside for ball one of the at-bat, and if you're the Bulldog infield, remember, you've got plays anywhere. So just make the play that is smart and the play that you can make. So here's the 1-1. That one is swung on over to third, and he's unable to make the play, and another bobble, and 2 runners are going to head home for the Blue Devils, and that is just not how you do it if you're New Waverly.
Yeah, that was bad defense from the third baseman and the shortstop. If you were paying attention, both of them just kind of hesitated and let the ball fly right under their gloves. That is not ideal if you are the Bulldogs. Now found themselves down 6-0 with a runner on
first and third.
They're on the corners.
So Pennywell,
still no out.
So Pennywell came home. Williamson came home on just a blooper by Murdoch over to third. Another error for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I want to talk about, busting the game wide open for Murdoch. Even if it was just a little blooper single, combined with the poor infield defense, it's able to just put the Bulldogs in a very, very bad spot here.
First baseman Ramirez now into the batter's box for Central Heights. Takes that one high for ball one. With runners painted on the corner, still no outs here in the top of the 7th. So here's the 1-0, shows bunt, lays off, in there for a strike from Henry. Right down the middle for the center fielder turned pitcher. One count here. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2, but Murdoch is gonna easily steal second. So now runners on second and third, and a courtesy runner coming in here for Murdoch. That's going to be at number 4, Carter Christensen.
Yeah, both runners in scoring position here with no outs here in the top of the 7th. This is Hunter Henry's going to have to do something to stop the bleeding here for the Bulldogs.
So Carter Christensen at second, Bo Bryan at third. Still no outs here in the top of the 7th, but a 1-2 to Ramirez. Pitch from Henry, well inside for ball 2. So an even count at 2 apiece here for Henry. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on foul, sailing over towards the lights. And into the bullpen. Arms warming up in the bullpen, need to be careful. That one was hit over there, 2-2 count, well outside, ball 3. So good discipline here by the bottom of the lineup of Central Heights. Able to lay off some pitches here, and now all of a sudden it's full count. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss for a Mirsky's Cafe strikeout by Hunter Henry to finally get that first elusive out here in the top of the 7th.
And you do say, the first out has been elusive this inning, and, baseball's a game of momentum, so sometimes all it takes is that first strikeout to be able to get Henry in that right mindset to be able to close this inning out without allowing anything else.
That one is hit right up the middle. Henry isn't able to make a play. That's going to bring home Bryant, and no play at home for Christensen, so Bryant will score on an RBI single from Sunderland.
That's going to put runners on the corners with 1 out here in the 7th inning.
So Christensen, the courtesy runner for Murdoch, over at third, off of an RBI single from Sunderland. His first hit of the day.
Sutherland just breaking this one open a little bit more.
Here's the pitch to Masora, in there for a strike from Henry, so got to find himself ahead here in the count. Again, we've seen stranger things happen, but if you're New Waverly, you've got to get out of here first. Here's the pitch. That one blooped over towards the Blue Devil dugout. Might have bumped an assistant coach over there on the head. Heads up over there in the Blue Devil dugout. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss for another Mirsky's Cafe strikeout for Hunter Henry. Getting Masora to swing on that one. Second out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
Both of Hunter's outs have come via the strikeout. Able to keep these runners right where they are.
So now Brady Owen back into the batter's box for Central Heights. He was the third and final out of the 6th inning, so hopefully he can be the third and final out of the 7th inning here for the Bulldogs. As here's the first pitch from Henry in there for a strike. So Hunter Henry finding some really good control here in the 7th. Obviously did allow a run earlier, but he's pitched pretty well given the situation that he was in.
Yeah, he absolutely inherited a tough situation, and he's showed some poise here. He's looking to close this one out and keep this game right where it is.
So that one is covered by Tom Zach on a really low slider by Henry. Knots the count up at 1. That one, oof, nearly a headshot there on Owen, as he's thankfully able to duck out of the way of that one.
That one could have hurt.
Thankfully, again, able to get out of the danger zone there was Owen, so a 2-1 to him. Here's the pitch. High for ball 3.
Yeah, good discipline here by Owens. Not swinging at anything he doesn't like. He wants to put as many runners on base for the Blue Devils as possible.
The 3-1. That one is chopped over to third. It's going to be a tough play, but it is going to not be made in time. He's going to be safe over at first, and so that will bring home Christensen and advance the runner in Sunderland.
That will keep. And we're going to have runner at first and second.
So runner in first in Owen. Advances the runner in Sunderland and brings home Christensen, who was courtesy running for the pitcher Murdoch. And another courtesy runner there over at first. It's going to be number 21, David Quinones, as he gets a standing ovation here from the
Big
Central
applause.
Heights faithful.
Excited to see him.
One of those guys, just the heart of the team, it sounds like.
David Quinones.
Another standing ovation for Quinones.
They are happy. I'd like to know what the story there is.
So still runners on first and second. Strike to Baker as Central Heights has batted through their lineup here, as I've got to adjust my lineup card. Hunter finds himself up 0-1 here in the count. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hit the umpire. He's going to have to take a minute on that one.
He's walking that one off.
He's trying to play it off all cool, but man,
Oh, no, he's hurting.
He knows that hurts.
Crying on the inside.
Crying on the inside as he's talking to the other umpires.
He's playing it cool.
Yeah, he's trying to play it cool, but yeah, that one hurt.
I heard that one.
You could hear that one from a mile away. So, he steps
Some
back.
chirping from the audience here. I thought that one was pretty funny.
Ugh, man, poor umpire takes a
Taking it like a trooper, staying in the game.
Indeed he did. So an 0-2 here to Baker. Can Henry just looking to close this one out? Obviously, you know, it's an 8-0 game. Your Waverly still has 3 outs to work with, so it's not impossible, but you feel this one slowly starting to slip away. There's a high pitch there by Henry. 1-2.
Henry maybe a little off his rhythm after the game had to slow down for the ump to recover.
The 1-2. Swung there, no. He's just gonna call that a strike in the zone, so Baker's gonna strike out looking there. So another Mirsky's Cafe strikeout there by Henry. All of his outs there in that inning were from strikeouts, but Central Heights puts 5 runs across the board there in the top of the 7th. They lead this one 8-0 as New Waverly has 3 outs to work with to save their season. We'll be right back after this. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. Be right back.
If a new Ford is in your future, head to Bill Fick Ford, where no bull deal just got even better. That's right, from now until June 2nd, Ford is offering employee pricing to all customers on a wide range of brand new 2024 and 2025 Ford vehicles, including most trucks and SUVs. And that means significant savings for you, because you pay what Ford employees pay. Hurry in to Bill Fick Ford for the best selection and the best price, or shop BillFickFordHuntsville.com.
We head to the bottom of the 7th. New Waverly has a lot of work to do if they want to stay in this one. 8-0 ball game here in Athens, Texas. While we have a little bit of a pause in the action, we'll go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible.
We sure will, Houston. This broadcast of New Waverly Bulldog Baseball is brought to you in part by Bill Fick Ford. No bull, just good deals. And by Mirsky's Cafe in New Waverly, home of the world-famous Hootie Burger and proud supporter of the Bulldogs.
As into the batter's box will step Jace Card, 1 for 2 on the day for the Bulldogs.
And Murdoch is out there to finish this game out.
How about that?
I'm going to try to get him the complete game.
That is not Trapper Murdoch. That is... no, it is.
It is. I've seen it. They're looking to get him the complete game.
See, he throws that one in there for a strike, 2 Card. Yeah, initially thought that might have been a 7, but Eyes playing tricks on me. 0-1 here, 2 Card.
Well, the netting doesn't help.
that too. So an 0-1 count here, 2 Card. Swing and a miss. So Murdoch looking to finish this one out and put the Bulldogs to rest here in Athens and move on to 3rd round.
And the Blue Devils breaking open the game a little there in the top of the 7th with 5 runs scored. They were able to chase the Bulldogs starter out of the game and just bust the game wide open.
And a swinging strikeout there from Jace Card for the first out of the inning. Waverly now down to 2 outs. As into the batter's box will step Crawford Reisner for the Bulldogs, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That one in the turf for ball 1. There's that one, another one low for ball 1. So the winner of this series again will head to the regional semis. Trying to get a matchup for y'all here. Swing there by Reisner. 2-1 here is the count. See what gets that one low for ball 3, does Reisner, so stays alive in the at-bats. Winner of this one, again, will advance to the regional semis and take on the winner of Scurry, Rosser, and Rogers.
What,
So he gets on base there.
The designated hitter number 10.
Does
we were both consulting our
Reisner.
the UIL schedule there.
But Reisner will walk, so puts a runner on the base path for New Waverly. So and up comes to bat William Coley. Struck out in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 5th. And got thrown out by the right arm of Sunderland back in the 5th. So yeah, the winner of this one will take on either Scurry, Rosser, or Rogers. So unfortunately, looking bleak for New Waverly right now, as they are down 1-0 in the series and down 8-0 here in Athens, Texas. So,
but they do have a runner on base.
They have a runner on base, so they've just got to, if they want to stay in this one, if in any way possible, just got to stay putting runners on base. You've got 2 outs to work with to save your season. If not, it was a great season for the Bulldogs. Went back to the area round for the first time in 2 years, so congratulations to them, as we were able to cover them here on the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel. Obviously not a team that we traditionally cover, but we do thank New Waverly High School for allowing us to broadcast this team. It has been a lot of fun broadcasting both the by-district and area rounds, if this is the end for the Bulldogs.
A bit of a mound visit here with Murdoch and his catcher. His third baseman?
Looks like it.
What they're talking about.
Probably just trying to say, hey, we rode your arm through this game. You know, we don't want to pull you, but you put a runner on first, and now you face a 2-1 here. So
just trying to give him a little confidence.
Get a little bit of a pep talk there to the pitcher, Trapper Murdoch. Again, hasn't allowed any runs here in the game, thanks to a lot in part to his defense. They've made some phenomenal plays. So here's the 2-1 as that one is swung on, but into the netting here by Coley. Count ties up at 2 apiece. Two-two count here. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on, hit right up to Murdoch. Double play opportunity is there, and that is going to do it. So the Bulldogs get shut out here in Athens, Texas. They fall 8-0, and this new Waverly Bulldogs will find themselves out. Central Heights will advance onto the regional semis. Again, they will face either Scurry, Rosser, or Rogers in the regional semis, but unfortunately, New Waverly's season does come to an end here tonight in Athens, Texas, by a final score of 8-0. We'll see if we can get a word with head coach Aaron Compton here on the post-game show. If not, we'll go ahead and just wrap it up here and get y'all out of here on the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel and the KSAM Sports Network. So we'll go ahead and go to a commercial break as we try to get a word with head coach Aaron Compton. Again, if not, we'll go ahead and just briefly wrap it up, Will, me, and Justin. But don't go anywhere. You're watching New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network. The Bill Fick Ford post-game wrap-up is next.
Let's drive in the summer in your new ride from Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here, and summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $34,580 after rebates, or a 25 Buick Envision starting at only $34,950 after rebates, or a 2025 Buick Encore GX starting at only $22,980. We also have a great selection of EVs to choose from, so hurry down to Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville and see these great vehicles and smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line. Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Cadillac in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here, and summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a new Cadillac Sport Platinum Escalade that you can take up to $10,000 off the factory MSRP after rebates, or a 2024 Cadillac XT6 starting at only $42,980 after rebates. We also have a great selection of EV vehicles to choose from, so hurry down to Wiesner Cadillac in Huntsville to see these great vehicles and smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerCadillac.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Hi, this is Devin Blakely with Community Service Credit Union. With our members constantly on the go, CSU is dedicated to making banking as safe and as easy as possible. Wherever life takes you, our nearest branch is right in your pocket with the CSU mobile app. You can check account balances, pay bills, and even make check deposits with the CSU mobile app. You can also monitor your credit score with CreditSense. CSU Mobile is available in the App Store and Google Play. Community Service Credit Union, member of NCUA.
This is Cicely again with Hartfield Florist. In business for over 50 years, at Hartfield's we strive to meet all your floral needs every day. From birthdays and anniversaries to weddings and other special occasions, we can bring your vision to life and customize your unique request. Give us a call at 295-5448 or visit us online at HuntsvilleHartfieldFlorist.com. The Pierce family and everyone at Hartfield's wants to say thank you for allowing us to personalize your events just like we've been doing since 1957.
Welcome back to the KSAM Sports YouTube channel here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. Not the Hornets, we are broadcasting the Bulldogs, obviously. I'm Justin Hardcastle, color commentator here on the broadcast. My brother Houston is currently trying to get a word with New Waverly's head coach. Just to summarize, the New Waverly Bulldogs fell to the Central Heights Blue Devils 8-0. It was a pitcher's duel for a big portion of the game, all the way up till the 7th inning. Both pitchers were pitching incredibly well. Trapper Murdoch and consulting my chart here for New Waverly's pitcher. Well, whatever his name was, he pitched excellently. And found ourselves in a pitcher's duel right there until the top of the 7th. And unfortunately, the Blue Devils were just able to bust the game open. Back-to-back doubles, then a single, just putting the game a little outside of reach. And they just busted it open. Put on 5 runs in the top of the 7th and ended the Bulldogs season with a double play. It's not how you love to see the season end, but they did show a lot of fight through most of the game. It was a pitcher's duel right up until the last inning. Houston is trying to get a word with the head coach of the Bulldogs. If we are not able to get it, we will end the broadcast here and now. We're still waiting on confirmation on if he can get a word with him. We'll see, but make sure you stay right here for a potential word with the Bulldogs head coach right here on the KSAM YouTube channel.
Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here with Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville. And summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $41,980 after rebates. Or a 25 Chevy RS Trailblazer starting at only $26,960 after rebates. We even have a great selection of EV vehicles to choose from. So hurry down to Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville to see these great vehicles and smoking deals. Or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Mirsky's Cafe New Waverly is open for breakfast at 7:30 a.m. on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so you can get a great start to your day. For lunch, chicken fried steaks, chicken fried chicken, and hamburger steaks, or go lighter with salads. They also have Taco Tuesday and Fish Fridays. Lunch begins at 11 a.m. Private dining room or catering available. Dine-in, curbside pickup, or to-go orders. Call 936-439-5039. Mirsky's Cafe New Waverly, 315 FM 1375. Check them out on Facebook, home of the world-famous Hootie Burger and proud supporters of the Bulldogs.
I'm Kobe Lovell, 2020 World Champion header, 7-time NFR qualifier.
I'm Ricky Canton, 15-time NFR qualifier and currently hold the world's record in the cap rovement.
I'm Cody Johnson. I'm a platinum recording country music artist, cowboy team roper.
And I'm No Bull Bill, and I sell trucks. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, at least I sell them to the cool people.
If a new Ford is in your future, head to Bill Fick Ford, where no bull deal just got even better. That's right, from now until June 2nd, Ford is offering employee pricing to all customers on a wide range of brand new 2024 and 2025 Ford vehicles, including most trucks and SUVs. And that means significant savings for you, because you pay what Ford employees pay. Hurry into Bill Fick Ford for the best selection and the best price, or shop BillFickFordHuntsville.com.
Folks, this is Frank Oliveris, Marine Corps veteran and owner of Frank's Tackle Station and Cafe, Riverside, Texas. Come on out to Frank's, where we welcome you like family and invite you to try some of our favorites, like the Frank's Bacon Cheeseburger, Brisket Kojo Taco, Chicken Fried Steak, Baked Potatoes, and more. At Frank's, there is something on the menu for the whole family. Frank's, the home of the loaded train, offers dine-in or carry-out. We are open Monday through Saturday, or call in your order at 936-594-8139. See you soon, and as always, we love you in Christ Jesus.
Huntsville wakes up to the all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy. Get a positive start on your workday with local news, weather and sports, and some inspiration and laughs to warm you like a hot cup of coffee. And now you can join the daily conversation with Brian and Tracy by calling or texting the KSAM listener line at 936-295-4102. Come on, neighbor. The all-new KSAM Wake Up Morning Show with Brian and Tracy on 101.7 KSAM. Country music is different than other music genres. Our artists sing about family, friendship, the ups and downs of this old world, and living this life. Country music tells the story of us. 101.7 KSAM is your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. And you can have this hometown connection right there on your smartphone with the all-new KSAM mobile app. It's in your iPhone and Android app store right now. And we also have direct links on our website, ksam1017.com.
Find us on social media on both Facebook and X at KSAM1017. Also be sure to subscribe to the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything going on with your hometown radio station.
Welcome back to the KSAM YouTube channel here on a Friday night in Athens, Texas. The new Waverly Bulldogs have fallen to the Central Heights Blue Devils 8-0. It was a pitcher's duel right up until the 7th inning. Unfortunately, the Blue Devils were able to bust the game wide open with a 5-run 7th inning. We are still waiting on word on if we can get a word with new Waverly's head coach. Houston is down there on the field. We're not sure what the signal he's given me here is. We'll continue to speculate on that. Fun fact, this is actually Houston's third last broadcast. He was supposed to be done at the end of softball season, but he has come back for 2 games for New Waverly, being a good sport, being a good man. So this will be your last chance to hear him talk here on this YouTube channel, unless something else comes up. We did say a month ago that he was going to be done, yet here we are tonight in Athens. It's been a great season for him. He's going to be moving on to Indiana to take a job up there, so he won't be with us anymore. So if you want to hear him talk one last time, make sure you stay tuned in. He is going to be coming up. It looks like he's coming with the New Waverly coach right now. We're going to take one more commercial break while they get ready to head on up here, and then we will have his interview. So make sure you don't go anywhere.
Let's drive into summer in your new ride from Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here, and summertime brings smoking deals. We've got a 2025 full-size crew cab truck starting at only $34,580 after rebates, or a 25 Buick Envision starting at only $34,950 after rebates, or a 2025 Buick Encore GX starting at only $22,980. We also have a great selection of EVs to choose from, so hurry down to Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville and see these great vehicles and smoking deals, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Wiesner is home of the bottom line.
Welcome back to the KSAM YouTube channel. I'm going to be handing the mic over to my brother Houston and the new Waverly baseball coach. Right here.
Yeah. All right, live from the Bill Fick Ford post-game show here with head coach Aaron Compton of the new Waverly Bulldogs. Obviously, kind of an emotional night, but, before we get into that, obviously, tough 8-0 loss here in the area around, but, first time y'all have been here in 2 years, so just your final thoughts on the game.
Yeah, it unfortunate that it ended like that. I thought series-wise we played a great game yesterday, had them within with 1 run. Felt really good about coming into this one, and then at the end of the day, you got to give all the credit to Central Heights. They have a phenomenal team. They're not ranked in the top 10 for no reason. They executed very well. I don't think we necessarily played bad until kind of the wheels fell off a little bit on us in that last inning. So, but it was much closer than 8 runs of what it showed. We just got to find a way to be a little bit better offensively, I think.
And, you know, obviously, you know, kind of the third inning, kind of been a thorn in y'all's side all this series. You know, in that third inning, you know, you had a couple of errors there in the infield, just kind of allowed them to get a little bit of momentum going forward. And so, you know, just talk about what you saw there in that third inning and, you know, how you want to clean that up with this team going forward.
Yeah, I think it's just all the mindset. It's tough when you get to this spot. Backs are against the wall. We have been there, but it's a little bit different playing a team as good as Central Heights is. So, yeah, the errors were unfortunate. Most all year we've been able to overcome them, and we just couldn't overcome them tonight.
And obviously, you know, emotional night here for you. Kind of saw you post-game giving some hugs to player. You send off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors here tonight. So, obviously, you know, these guys have been with you, you know, all throughout your journey here. And so just talk about what, you know, you've seen from them. You kind of just speak on their character and leadership and anything you want to tell the listeners about this group of seniors.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this group of seniors. They've basically what I told them is they've laid the foundation for this program, and that's exactly what you want. You hate to see it go out like this, but they've accomplished a lot. You know, things have not always gone their way. They've faced a ton of adversity in the 2 years that I've been here. I thought they've played well, but they've been phenomenal leaders. They're great young men. I can't wait to see what they accomplish outside. We've got a couple of them going to play at the next level. I can't say enough good things about those 5.
And obviously, you know, you not only do you send some of your seniors off, but obviously, you know, it's the end, so you kind of got to start thinking about next year. And so you've got you know, Charlie Goodwin, he's a junior. You've got Jackson Hathorn. You've got Colin Conover, just the next group of guys. So what are you expecting out of them, you know, leadership-wise next year, especially with you sending this 5 out, kind of replacing those 3 with them?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to replace them, but I'm so thankful that we do have some young guys that have gotten to learn from these seniors. I expect them to step into that role and pretty much do the exact same thing the seniors have for next year. And that's what you want in a program. You never want to think about replacing a kid or a group of kids, but you just hope that they are good enough kids and have great enough character and care about their teammates in the program that the next wave just steps in and says, hey, like, we want to be this good. And I think that's what we have.
And obviously, you know, first time to the area round, like we talked about, in 2 years, a successful year for you. So congratulations to you on that. And so, you know, just kind of talk about your overall thoughts on the season. Obviously, we haven't been able to broadcast but 2 playoff games. So obviously, you know, the viewers haven't gotten to see what you guys have done all season. But is there anything you want to say about the season overall?
I thought we battled all season. We deliberately had a pretty tough schedule, so our record doesn't kind of reflect on how good of a program that we have. But those kids learned. They faced adversity. They're going to learn stuff that they're going to take with them as they go into college and later in life. And it was just a joy to coach this group. There's some pretty amazing kids down there, not just baseball kids, but just great kids.
That's awesome. All right, last question here, Coach. I'll go ahead and let you get out of here after this one. And so it's just, you know, anything you want to say to the listeners, anyone who tuned in for these last 2 playoff games, who have supported the Bulldogs, had about 145-ish people tuning in at the peak. So anything you want to say to the listeners, any shout-outs you want to give before you sign off?
Anybody, I appreciate all the support. New Waverly community is great, and I think it's just going to get better. I appreciate everybody watching. I've had numerous people reach out to me, text message, and it's just the way that the direction that the program is going. And it's just a testament to the kids that we have. They make it really easy. So everybody who watched and supported, and families that made the drive. I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't
absolutely.
A short drive, but we've got awesome fans, awesome parents. They are nothing but helpful, great, and it's just a joy to be here.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Yes,
great season to you. Best of luck to you going forward.
Thank you so much.
So that was head coach Aaron Compton here on the Bill Fig Ford post-game show. Again, New Waverly season does unfortunately come to an end, 8-0 here. But you heard it here from head coach Aaron Compton, sending off 5 seniors in this senior class here tonight. And And, it's just a tough pill to swallow. You send off 5 great guys, a senior class. I kind of saw him post-game, just kind of dapping those guys up, giving them, hugs and just sending them off. And so it's kind of an emotional night for head coach Aaron Compton. But, it was a close game all through there. Wheels kind of falled off there in the 7th inning. But overall, close game and just – they're not top 10 for no reason. This is a very good team.
That 7th was very unfortunate. They were able to keep it real close up until then. It was an absolute pitcher's duel until the last inning. Unfortunately, that's just the way baseball goes sometimes, and unfortunately this time it did not work out in the Bulldogs' favor. Slight pivot, though. Houston, this is what, your 3rd last broadcast now? Do I have that number correct?
Yeah. I officially signed off against A&M Consol for – Huntsville softball, but now, given the opportunity to do 2 New Waverly baseball games, but, with New Waverly baseball coming to an end here tonight.
This, in theory, should.
Theoretically, people don't want to listen to my voice, so they're going to get someone new. So, technically, yeah, this will be my last time putting on the headset for anything 101.7 KSAM related, so get to kind of send y'all off on a great way. It was fun doing these 2 New Waverly games. That's a great team. They've got a lot of, great young players, a lot of potential going forward. Head coach Aaron Compton in his 2 years here has really done a great job turning this program around. And so I wish him nothing but the best. I wish 101.7 KSAM nothing but the best. And I just want to appreciate the opportunity that I've been given as I'm going to sign off here from Athens, Texas for the final time here tonight. But before I do that, I want to remind everyone listening to this broadcast that tonight's broadcast of New Waverly Baseball on the KSAM Sports Network is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any other transmission or accounts of the game without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and New Waverly High School Athletics is strictly prohibited. To everyone who made this broadcast possible, Carlos Zimmerman, all the work he's done, the opportunity that he gave me to do some of these baseball games, 2 more extra games after I officially signed off. I want to thank him for that opportunity. My crew here tonight, Heather behind the camera, Justin, executive producing and doing color commentary. Anyone who's ever been on a crew for 101.7 KSAM this season, want to give a big shout out to y'all. It's not just me, folks. It's not just me. There's a lot of people that make these broadcasts possible, so I want to give a big shout out and I want to give them their due roses. But that's all I've got here today from Athens, Texas. New Waverly falls 8-0, and their season will come to an end here in the area round. So, signing off here from Athens, Texas for the last time. This is Houston Hardcastle. Good night, God bless, and we'll see you all next time.